Holiday season in New York City, 43 degrees. It does not feel like December 23rd. Across the river in East Rutherford, New Jersey, moments away from the opening kickoff. As we head down to the field, she did a tremendous job on Thursday Night Football on Fox this season. Welcome back, Christina Pink.
Well, thank you for the welcome, Kenny. Now, the last time Aaron Rodgers started in a meaningless game was 10 years ago, but don't tell him that, because he said there was never a chance he was not going to take the field today. He told us it was about pride. Even though he's played with both groin and knee injuries this season, he said there's a big difference between being hurt and being injured. He wanted to show his teammates that. He also wanted them to see how to act late in the season at moments of frustration with nothing to play for. He came in wanting to play 16 games. He still has a chance to do that, Kenny.
Christina, you're looking great in your pink. Welcome back, girl. Glad to be with you.
Sure is. There's Joe Philbin, his third game after replacing Mike McCarthy. Across the way, Todd Bowles in his fourth season as Jets head coach. Packers won the toss, elected to defer. This is Pro Bowl returner Andre Roberts for the Jets. He's out across the 30. So good field position to start this game for Sam Darnold and the Jets offense.
Well, you got to really like what you've seen the last couple of weeks. Those are his numbers there. Yes, he's got more interceptions than touchdowns at this point in his career, but he checks all the boxes, Kenny. There's a lot to like about him as a thrower, and just like Aaron Rodgers, he can get off schedule. We saw the game last Saturday night against Houston. He almost pulled that upset. He was really good. See if he can continue that momentum here today against the Packers.
Jets send in two tight ends and an extra blocker on 1st and 10 from their 32-yard line. Elijah McGuire in the backfield. Darnold throws on 1st down, and the catch is made out of the 44-yard line. Gain of 12 for Robbie Anderson as we check out the Jets offense.
Well, Robbie Anderson's been really good for Sam Darnold the last couple of weeks, but I'm going to keep an eye on this young tight end, Chris Herndon, number 89. Jets fans obviously know him. Talking to the offensive coordinator Jeremy Bates, he said this guy absolutely belongs in the NFL. I think they have a little bit of rapport between quarterback and tight end here. See if that shows up today.
Herndon, the rookie out of Miami. On 1st down, up the middle, into Packers territory, it's McGuire. Gain of 11, another Jets 1st down. So 23 yards on their first two plays up against this 15th ranked Packers defense.
Well, they're young, really young. One of the guys I look for, obviously, because I'm an ex-corner here, Kenny, is Jerry Alexander. You know, the guy had to started the season at nickel. He was forced outside. I think the Packers like him better as an outside corner. You know, his matchup may not be a premium one today, but I'm going to keep an eye on him all day long.
Again, two tight ends for the Jets from the Green Bay 46-yard line. Darnold from the shotgun, sets and throws. Catch is made by the rookie you were just talking about a moment ago, Chris Herndon. So 3 plays on this opening drive, 3 first downs, a gain of 26.
Well, they came out aggressive. This is Herndon in here, and just it's all seams. And the one thing you got to appreciate between these two young guys, just the communication, understanding. Just the back shoulder throw, great concentration by Herndon. Watch this ball slip through, hit him right in the face mask, but he sticks with it. Picks up a big completion for the Jets here.
First and 10 from the Packers 20-yard line. 3 receivers set. Darnold hands it off. This is McGuire. Fights his way forward for 2 yards to the Green Bay 18. So Sam Darnold making his 12th start, his 3rd game back from the foot injury. And he's shown some great improvement over the last couple of games. There's offensive coordinator Jeremy Bates.
Well, they've all talked openly, Jeremy Bates, McCown, the backup quarterback, about how much he's grown in those weeks off when he was injured. He had the bye week in there as well. Just watching a pro do it and his backup quarterback, and it's really translated onto the field here these past 2 weeks.
Josh McCown started 3 games in Darnold's absence. Darnold on 2nd and 8. Down he goes, back at the 28-yard line. That's Kyler Fackrell, who leads the Packers, now has 9.5 sacks on the season.
Well, he's a guy that's been kind of streaky, right? He's got 2, he comes in here, he's got 2 3-sack games on the year, but he's just working with his defensive tackle. Works inside Sam Darnold. We know he can get out of the pocket and escape finds a way to get a sack here, and you got to really like the season that this guy has put together. Stats-wise, Fackrell, I mean, comes out of nowhere, really. I know if you're a Packers fan, you understand who he is, but his production has been really solid for this team.
You're right, Rondé. A couple of 3-sack games. That's his first in the last 5. Play clock winding down. Jets get the snap away. Darnold able to escape. And now throws McGuire, the intended receiver, after making an adjustment, unable to make the catch, and the Jets send out the field goal unit.
All to the athleticism of this young quarterback. It'll be on display right here. Stepping up, he sees it is collapsing, but it gets out, and this is what I like. Keep your eyes downfield a little bit more on this pass, and this is going to be a completion for a touchdown, but it's a little bit underthrown, and he just can't quite bring it in. Actually, good defense there by the safety, Jones.
So here's Jason Myers, elected to the Pro Bowl. He's hit 5 field goals of at least 55 yards this season. That's an NFL record. This from 45. And Myers' kick is no good. Wide to the left. He missed 2 extra points last Saturday. Named to the Pro Bowl earlier this week. Misses his first attempt today. Aaron Rodgers banged up all season, told us there was never any question that I would play in this game today.
Well, this offense is all about Aaron Rodgers. He's got some young players he needs to work into this offense, though.
First and 10, 35-yard line. That pass incomplete. He was looking for Davante Adams, who leads the Packers with 100 receptions this season.
When you look at this offense, you can talk about the young wide receivers and ones that are playing, but the offensive line's got some players. Lindsley obviously at center, but I look at David Bakhtiari and I see a Pro Bowler. I know he keeps getting snubbed for this deal, but he's solid. You don't even think about him when you're going into your game plan because you know that he's going to be able to stand up against whoever you put out there rushing from the quarterback's blind side.
No Aaron Jones, no Randall Cobb for the Packers. This is Jamal Williams, a first down and more across midfield to the Jets' 46-yard line. 19 yards for Williams.
Well, Jamal Williams has got a chance to prove himself today, and I imagine in a game like this, end of the year, you're going to try to prove what you have in him. And what I love is this power, this ability to fall forward. You know, he started the season, first 4 games. They got Aaron Jones, who I think is a really dynamic back. He's obviously on IR now, but don't be surprised you get a steady dose of Jamal Williams and see what he can do.
Second season out of BYU. He led the Packers in rushing last season as Rodgers goes down after a couple of fakes. Aaron Rodgers telling us that I'm not in the mood for a bunch of sacks today.
No, it's definitely not what he wants. Coming into the game, 4th in the league in sacks. This is Leonard Williams here. Just watch him work. Goes through 2 defenders, and I know that his sack numbers have not been what I think everybody expects of him, given his talent level, but he gets one here early. It was interesting talking to Todd Bowles about him. He said he does all the dirty work. He just hasn't been productive in terms of sacks, but he has been in there giving other guys opportunities.
4th sack of the season for Williams. On 2nd and 20, catch is made by Equanimous St. Brown. Buster screen over to knock him out of bounds. That sack by Williams, the 47th against this Packers offensive line. Only 3 teams have allowed more.
Oh, it's amazing, too, because of the mobility of Aaron Rodgers. And sometimes I think he holds the ball and invites some of these sacks, but that number is just astronomical, especially with the way that Aaron Rodgers can get the ball out of his hand.
Third down at 16. Packers must get to the Jets' 36 for a first down. Rodgers steps up, throws, and it's incomplete. Looking for Adams once again.
Well, this has got to be a completion. Adams is wide open. You'll see him right here in the slot. He's going to end up over the ball. Aaron Rodgers does a fantastic job here avoiding the blitz pressure from Williamson. Steps up and, you know, he can make these throws off balance, right? How often do you ever see him have 2 feet on the ground when he throws? That one's a little bit off target because he had to hurry to throw.
J.K. Scott, low snap. Roberts back deep for the Jets. Fields it at the 15-yard line. Andre Roberts out across the 40, still going. There is a flag as the return by Roberts is across midfield into Packers territory. 40-yard return, only a 37-yard kick, and we will check in with the referee, Ron Torbert.
During the return, illegal block in the back by the return team, number 52. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. It's New York's ball. First down. Timeout.
Sam Darnold and the Jets offense back out.
Well, Kenny, here's Anthony Whitt. This is the block in the back that caused this return to come back. But keep an eye on Andre Roberts all day long here. There's a reason why a guy like this makes the Pro Bowl. The shiftiness that he has and the explosion running through those gaps. And you know, we get a lot of penalties on special teams when the returners run sideline to sideline. It's very ripe that somebody's going to get a block in the back.
Jets lose 28 yards on the penalty. They start from their 17-yard line. As Darnold throws over the middle, it's Robbie Anderson for a Jets first down.
Just a beautiful play here. Play action is quick. Watch how fast that Sam Darnold sets up in the pocket here. And here's Robbie Anderson, the guy that's been the biggest beneficiary of the improved play of Sam Darnold the past couple of weeks. Look at the timing here. Knows exactly where this ball needs to go, and I think that's what he got out of watching Josh McCown. The ball has to come out on time quick. It's very accurate. Big play again for this Jets offense.
Trenton Cannon in motion on the toss. It's McGuire. Elijah McGuire out to the 38-yard line. Blake Martinez, the tackle. Look at Sam Darnold's numbers over his first 9 games and then in the last 2 since returning from the foot injury.
Well, that column right there is the one you want to pay attention to. The lack of turnovers the past couple of games has been what's been most impressive. This offense is not good enough. This team's not good enough to survive that many number of giveaways, but he's been sharp of late.
Action.
Dozier in at fullback for the Jets. Backup offensive lineman, 2nd and 5. It's McGuire. And he gets bottled up just shy of the 40. So a 3rd down and 3 upcoming. There's Josh McCown, the 16-year vet on the Jets sideline.
Well, I think you can agree, Kenny, that it's invaluable to have a guy 16 years in the NFL backing you up. I was actually talking to him before the game. He's like, it's actually 15. I took that 1 year when he was playing in another league. But yeah, just the way that he approaches the game, the way he studies the game, even as much as coaching the inflections. There's a lot that a young rookie quarterback can't know until he actually gets time to play. And I think watching a veteran guy do it significantly helped him.
Now Darnold on 3rd and 3. Catch is made for a first down by Jermaine Kearse. Getting back to McCown. At one point, he was coaching high school football down in North Carolina. And there's no doubt about it. If he's interested in coaching in his future, some NFL team will hire him.
It'll be there. Him and his brother, Luke, they're both great quarterback minds. Fantastic athletes, too. That's helped them. That helps them in their job. I mean, I think Josh was offered a job in Cleveland a couple of years ago when he was a backup there. Yeah, somewhere down the line, we'll see McCown. That name's not going away.
1st and 10 from the 47. It's Kearse again into Packers territory to the Green Bay 39.
Another sharp pass here to Jermaine Kearse. It's just on time, right? Back foot hits, and then this is just a little slant, little dagger, whatever you call it. And look, ball goes through 3 Packers defenders, but it's so on time and so delivered with such velocity, can't help but catch it. And Jermaine Kearse, the guy's been somewhat disappointing numbers-wise this year, but I think you have to have a guy like this in the slot for a young quarterback.
From the 40, it's McGuire. Jets enter the red zone on their opening possession, missed a 45-yard field goal. They remain the only team in the NFL without an opening drive touchdown this season.
That's just reflective of the young quarterback. You know, just situational football, correct? It takes time to figure out situational football. This offseason will be huge for Sam Darnold. Figure out those things and ways to finish off those type of drives. Can't have 3 big plays in your opening drive and not score. It's almost embarrassing.
Right, 48 yards on their first 3 plays of the game. as Darnold connects with McGuire out of the backfield. Nice adjustment. He picks up a first down to the Green Bay 22-yard line.
Well, what you got to like about this here, Kenny, this play is supposed to go down the field, but don't pass up open receivers. The running back's wide open in the flat. Just put it in his hands and let him do all the work after the catch. And you're going to see McGuire does a great job here avoiding these tackles here and getting north and south, picking up some big yardage again and closing to that top red zone here. See if they get a score out of this one.
Jets are ready with 100 yards of offense, Rondé, 8 yards per play. New set of downs from the Packers 23. The handoff to McGuire, and this time he's met immediately by Montravius Adams.
No Kenny Clark. Mike Daniels is on IR. Montravius has to step up and play. Adams has been disappointing, I think, in his first couple of years here in Green Bay, but he's going to get the opportunity today. They're down. They got Lancaster who will play in there. Dean Lowry's had a great season for them at that inside defensive end in this Mike Patton defense, but I need something out of him. He's got to show himself.
Mike Patton, the Packers defensive coordinator, worked under Rex Ryan here with the Jets. Second down and 12, it's Kearse, and a nice tackle after a gain of 5 is made by Tony Brown. So third down upcoming for Sam Darnold in this Jets offense.
Well, this is where Mike Patton's defense gets to be multiple. Bring in another safety, a dime linebacker. I think they call it a nitro back. That Eddie Pleasant will come in and play here, but it gives you good matchups. And obviously with Mike Patton, you know how aggressive he is as a play caller. Don't be surprised if you see some guys populate the backfield here against young quarterback.
A timeout is taken with the play clock winding down as Darnold heads to the sideline. We'll return after this message from Progressive. 10th play of this drive upcoming for the Jets. They've moved the football here in the first quarter. Inside the 20 once again. Facing a third down and 6 from the Green Bay 19-yard line. Andre Roberts split wide to the left. Jets must get to the 13 for a first down. Darnold throws, and the catch is made for a Jets first down.
Not just a catch, what a catch. Watch Herndon pull this thing in with one hand. Wow, this is awesome here, and this is why you love this kid. Look at this.
Wow.
Getting ready to get contacted by the safety, and the concentration. We saw him pass come to his shoulder pads, hit him in the face mask earlier. This trumps it. Man, that's awesome.
There's a guy named Beckham who also plays at this stadium. What a catch by Herndon. First and goal from the Packers 4. Empty backfield. Darnold looking end zone, throws, and it's broken up. What a play. Pass was intended for Cannon. Broken up by Tramon Williams.
Well, Tramon Williams made this switch to safety, but he's still got those corner skills, doesn't he? Just the patience here not to grab the receiver. It's a running back out there. And look at those long arms getting in there to deflect that pass. That was a fantastic defensive play by Tramon Williams.
Williams back in Green Bay, began his career first 8 seasons with the Packers before spending some time in Cleveland and Arizona. Now second and goal on the toss. It's McGuire, and he is in for a Jets touchdown.
We've seen this play design a number of times, either whether it's a running back or wide receiver coming across the formation, kind of distract the eyes of the Packers defenders. You're going to see this, but the ball's going this way. This is just well-designed play, well executed. Spencer Long with the pull out front, takes out the corner. It's a big gap to run in for Elijah McGuire, and a touchdown for the Jets.
McGuire's 3rd score of the season. He missed the first 8 games with a broken foot. Jets without Isaiah Crowell and Bilal Powell, so McGuire has taken over as the starter. There is a flag. Myers knocked it straight through, missed the 2 extra points against the Texans last week.
Offside. Defense, number 28. That 5-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. The extra point is good.
So the Jets on their second possession take a 7-0 lead. Elijah McGuire into the end zone. Elijah McGuire signaling first down, then a terrific catch, one-handed by Herndon. Picked up a Jets first down, leading to the McGuire TD. A hug from his head coach, Todd Bowles. 12 plays, 83 yards. Darnold on that drive, Rondé, 6 of 7, 73 yards.
It's early in the game, but we're sitting up here noticing the time of possession. Obviously, Packers only had 1 drive. 10 minutes on 2 drives for the Jets is a tremendous way to start a football game.
18 plays to 5 as we head to Los Angeles for a game break. Carissa.
Thanks, Kenny. So the Bucs up 3-0 in Dallas when Dak Prescott keeps it for himself with a 7-yard score. Cowboys clinch the NFC East with a win today. Currently up 7-3. Kenny, Rondé, and Christina.
All right, thanks, Carissa. So the Cowboys at 8-6. Redskins lost yesterday. As Carissa mentioned, Cowboys can clinch the NFC East with a victory.
Well, I like those simple mechanics. The permutations in the rest of the league is kind of crazy right now.
There are no ties or tiebreakers involved in that scenario. Only the 6th play for the Packers offense. Rodgers, quick out to Davante Adams, catch number 101 on the season, gain of 9.
Well, he's going to continue to feed Davante Adams. And this is what you love about Aaron Rodgers. This is obviously a run play, and he's the only quarterback that I've ever seen that can get this ball out this quick. You know, a lot of quarterbacks got to find a way to plant their feet, turn their shoulders, get their hips open. He just flicks it out there, strong hands. They have the ability to do that. He is unique in that.
Second down and 1 empty backfield. Rodgers on second down, complete for a first down to Davante Adams once again, out to the 40-yard line. How frustrating was it to play against Aaron Rodgers?
Well, it's especially frustrating when you have receivers that can run routes like this. This is Davante Adams in the slot here. Yeah, he's been mostly an outside guy, but he can play in here, and he's got that kind of quickness. He's out there on a linebacker to begin with, and you know it's a win from as soon as he gets under the center. He knows exactly that's where he wants to go, and we mentioned that Davante Adams is chasing records. This could be the day where he keeps feeding him till he gets it. Here's Lane Taylor right here. You're going to see his leg get caught up with Bakhtiari right here. He's sitting in the tent now as we get Justin McCray, who has made 4 starts at right guard this season. He's in at left guard here, and he's a guy that they're trying to develop. They want him to come along. He hasn't quite got there yet. Keep an eye on him.
So Lane Taylor in the medical tent.
Ready, son.
1st and 10 from the 40-yard line. The handoff, Williams. Williams able to gain 5. Henry Anderson, the tackle. As Christina alluded to earlier, this is not a common occurrence. Aaron Rodgers starting in a game after his team was eliminated. Hasn't happened since the 2008 season. This is only the 3rd time in 157 career starts.
Well, you know, some of those are at the beginning of the year, so everybody's still involved in the playoff conversation. But yes, towards the end of the year, this never happens. You never say a game is meaningless, but I like that he's playing.
Here's Williams on 2nd and 5, and he is stopped at the line of scrimmage by Leonard Williams as the clock winds down. This will take us to the end of the 1st quarter. New York Jets with 123 yards of offense. Packers only 33. Elijah McGuire into the end zone. 7-0 Jets. To be here in Brooklyn for the PBC on Fox.
How about Kenny Albert, the hardest working man in sports? Did boxing last night. Fantastic card they had on Fox last night. Kenny's doing hockey later today. You are a busy man, my friend.
So is it a knockdown or a touchdown? Help me out.
You'll figure it out.
3rd down and 5 for Rodgers and the Packers, and he's sacked for the 2nd time. Back at the 35-yard line, Henry Anderson celebrates. He had 3 sacks against Houston last week.
Well, they brought the house here. Watch how many people populate the backfield. All these guys are coming. It's hard to figure out which one's going to get there, and then you see the move right through off the offensive guard, McCray, who's just in the football game. Man, big sack there. Aggressive play call on defense. You know that they're going to bring the house whenever they get 3rd down situations. That's a huge play for the Jets.
Scott punting from his 25-yard line. Fair catch is called for. There is a flag. Fair catch made by Roberts at the 24-yard line.
I'm pretty sure this is a hold on the outside here, and I tell you, almost every kicking play, Kenny. I think this is it right here. Just working on Josh Jones. Yeah, that's pretty much the definition of a hold.
That was Rashard Robinson.
Trying to get it right. I like listening to Ron Torbert. He's one of the good ones.
Sure is.
There is no foul on the play. It's New York's ball, 1st and 10.
They must have saw our replay and decided he fell on his own. That looked like a hold to me, Kenny.
So they pick up the flag. Jets will start at their 24-yard line.
I guess you could say they're both holding.
Simultaneous.
If you're boxing, right, the official comes in and breaks that up, right? Is that how that works?
So I go from a couple of Hall of Famers last night, Lennox Lewis and Ray Boom Boom Mancini, part of the PBC on Fox, to a future Hall of Famer.
Oh, look at you, Kenny.
Rondé Barber.
Thanks for the plug.
Semi-finalists.
I love you, man.
Man, 80. Jets with a 7-0 lead off the play fake. Darnold throws near side. It's a 1st down for Robbie Anderson.
Another good throw by Sam Darnold here, all the way across the formation. Just keep an eye here, see if he's inbound. I'm pretty sure it is. The catch is clearly in, and yep, the toe drag, right foot down.
That's Anderson's 3rd catch. All have gone for 1st downs. Gain of 14 on that one. Jets without Quincy Enunwa today. Coming into this game, he and Anderson were tied. 38 receptions apiece. Leading receivers on the Jets. Here's Anderson again, his 4th. Anderson this time picks up 9 to Los Angeles. Carissa.
Thanks, Kenny. So the Cowboys trying to recover from that bad loss last week to the Colts. James Winston sacked by Randy Gregory. Jalen Smith recovers the fumble, takes it in for 6. Cowboys inching closer to the NFC East title, currently up 14-3. Kenny, Rondé, and Christina.
Thanks, Carissa. So they win the division with a victory. Dallas leads Tampa Bay 14-3. This play is blown dead on 2nd and 1. False start.
False start. Offense, number 79. 5-yard penalty. It's 2nd down.
That's on Brent Qualley, the right tackle, starting for the injured Brandon Shell today. Second and 6 for the Jets following the penalty. The Jets team started the season 3-3, but they've lost 7 of their last 8 games. This their home finale. They'll face the Patriots in Foxborough next Sunday. 3rd straight season with at least 10 losses for the Jets. Darnold complete. It's Herndon for a 1st down across midfield. 3rd catch today for Chris Herndon. Picks up 13. And for more on Herndon, down to the field, Christina.
Well, yeah, we're seeing the chemistry already with the rookie quarterback and the rookie tight end. They were roommates in OTAs and training camp and have been growing together ever since. Herndon told me we've got the same demeanor. We're both curious and anxious to play. Herndon, also known as a very quiet guy, but we're seeing him play very loud in this game so far, Kenny.
He sure is. Thanks, Christina. Rookies out of USC and Miami. Darnold selected in the first round, 3rd overall. Herndon, a 4th round pick by the Jets. From the Green Bay 45, it is McGuire, and he's dragged down after a short gain by Dean Lowry.
Well, so far today, we've seen 2 great grabs, great concentration. That's not a great grab, but great concentration. This, however, is spectacular by Chris Herndon. And Christina just said the chemistry is there, and yes, when you talk to him, he is such a quiet kid. He's so unassuming, but he's a pro. He's already a pro. The future's bright. If you're a Jets fan, obviously they need some help on the outside at wide receiver, but they're looking like they have their tight end.
I guess when you root together during OTAs, you build that chemistry. Another flag.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense, number 94. 5-yard penalty. It's 2nd down.
Well, they absolutely need that chemistry at one position because it's been a struggle outside. You mentioned earlier coming into this game that the Jets' leading receiver only had 38 receptions, and this is updated for today. Together, you know, Anunwa and Robbie Anderson have less than Davante Adams. And of course, Davante Adams is having a Pro Bowl, kind of an all-pro kind of year on a bad football team. But it kind of speaks to some of the struggles on offense here with this Jets football team.
So the Packers leading receiver with 60 more receptions than the Jets leader, Robbie Anderson. Here's McGuire. A couple of nice moves, and he's tackled a yard shy of the marker at the Green Bay 36.
Well, you see Jeremy Bates mixing up the play calling here. Really good balance. I like this jump cut right here. This ball's supposed to go inside, but he sees the penetration, jumps it out, and then that ability to get shifty and small in space. Elijah McGuire is putting it on display here today. You mentioned those other runners that were hurt. He didn't get a lot of run, McGuire, this season. And it's much like Jamal Adams on the Packers. He's getting a chance to showcase it here at the end of the year, what he can be as a lead back.
3rd down and 1. It's McGuire.
Sorry, Jamal Williams. Thanks, Kenny, pointing that out. And they put these big guard in at fullback. I love this. Look at this dude. I wonder if they're going to ever hand him the ball or throw a pass to him. And you see him miss a block, but it's the chase tackle.
And now the Jets leave their offense out on the field on 4th down. 4th and a half yard. Jets best in the league on 4th down this season. It's Darnold, and he picks up the first.
Just smart. Now, quarterback sneaks don't have to be right over the center. He's just going to get up to the line of scrimmage here and just look at for a gap. That's not right over the guard. They got a bare front in there, 3 defensive linemen covering the center, so there's got to be a gap outside, and it's, you know, those are the little things that come with time. Just understanding that you don't have to stick your head down and just power through. Just find a little opening, and he did.
8th play of this drive for the Jets. As Darnold throws complete, Anderson, he walks it in for a Jets touchdown. 33 yards from Sam Darnold to Robbie Anderson.
Well, these young Packer DBs, they get distracted here by Trenton Cannon. You're going to see 2 guys in the secondary try to come down here. Watch these 2 guys right here react to this fake out to the running back, and he could have thrown this to either one of these 2 guys. That's tough sledding there for Tramon Williams. Which one do you cover? That's an easy touchdown. Again, great play design by Jeremy Bates, bringing out all the tricks out of his bag. And his offense, 2 9-play drives here back-to-back is outstanding.
The extra point is good. 6th touchdown of the season for Robbie Anderson. 14-0 Jets. All Jets here in the first half. 8 plays, 76 yards. Anderson with 3 receptions on that possession, and the Jets lead by 14.
Yeah, they've been sharp, really sharp on offense. 3 long drives, and really they had the Pro Bowl kicker, should have 3 more points on the board. Time possession has continued to spiral out of control, and the Jets have almost 200 yards of offense.
Pick taken out by J'Mon Moore. Rookie out of Missouri, there is a flag. No surprise. Flag on a return.
Yeah, this one's going to be a block in the back. It was almost right after the catch.
During the return, holding by the return team, number 16. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Green Bay's ball, 1st and 10.
That's on Jake Kumerow. Down to Christina.
Well, the Packers hit hard on the injury front early on. Guard Lane Taylor is dealing with a knee injury. Quarterback Jair Alexander dealing with a groin injury. Both players are questionable to return.
All right, thanks, Christina. Interim head coach Joe Philbin. Packers at 5-8-1, all 5 wins coming at Lambeau Field. They are 0-7 on the road. Packers have not finished winless on the road since 1958. From the 10-yard line, Rodgers on 1st down throws, and it's complete to Jamal Williams. Out to the 21-yard line for a Green Bay 1st down.
Well, this offense got to get in gear here. Coming into that play, he had more sacks against him, too, than passing yards, which was -1. And, of course, some of that is factored into the sack yardage.
With that completion to Williams, Rodgers goes over 4,000 yards for the 7th time in his NFL career. First and 10 from the 20. It's Williams. Nice cutback. Jamal Williams has another 1st down, gain of 13 out to the 33.
I'm pretty sure this is not how Aaron Rodgers envisioned this game going, but we're seeing some really positive things from the runner. Watch his cutback. Jamal Williams is putting it on display here. He's only got 4 carries on the day, but he's already racked up 37 yards, and he's showcasing a little bit of that skill set. I think they're looking pretty good going forward. I put Aaron Jones's film on before this game and was really impressed. Didn't get a chance to see Jamal Williams much. Today I'm liking what I'm seeing.
Off the fake to Williams. Rodgers moving to his left, then throws back the other way. And the Packers pick up another 1st down out to the 47-yard line. It's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. His first reception today, gain of 12.
Great example of Aaron Rodgers throwing any angle, no ground force production. I'll explain that in a little bit. But this is why Aaron Rodgers likes Randall Cobb so much, because there's a guy like that can find space, sit down. You know, these young Packers receivers are all huge, Kenny. They're all 6'3" and above. I think he likes to have those short guys that can find way in space and get open when he starts to scramble.
1st and 10 from the 45-yard line. Another big hole for Williams as he gains 8 into Jets territory. To Los Angeles, Kurt.
And how about Jadeveon Clowney going up against the Eagles? Strip, sack, fumble recovery, everything on that one play against Nick Foles. And one play later, Deshaun Watson takes it in for the go-ahead touchdown. They missed the extra point. Houston leads at 9-7. A win wraps up the AFC South for them and all but eliminates the Eagles from playoff contention. Kenny?
All right, thanks, Kurt. Texans with a 29-22 victory here over the Jets last week.
Offense, number 62. 5-yard penalty. It's 2nd down.
That's on the right guard, Lucas Patrick. Randy, you talked about time of possession and the Jets outgaining the Packers 199-66. How about this? The Jets have already run 18 plays in Packers territory. Green Bay has only run 1 play on the Jets side of the field.
Well, that's amazing. And obviously the rhythm of those Jets offense is on right now, and not much so for the Packers.
2nd down and 7. Rodgers throws near side. It's Adams. His 3rd catch. So now the Packers are across midfield. Packers have not won a game on the road since last December. 0-7 away from Green Bay this season. Their last road win came in overtime in Cleveland last December 10th. They've lost 9 straight. Their longest streak since 78-79. They have not lost 10 in a row on the road since 75 and 76. Go down at 4. Packers must get to the Jets 45 for a first down. Rodgers throws wide open as Kumerow inside the 10. Touchdown, Jake Kumerow, 49 yards.
Oh, what a nice play this was. You're going to see everybody react to Jimmy Graham in the flat, and then Kumerow comes wide open to the sideline. He was a preseason star. Every Packer knows that. It's just that route. Watch Jimmy Graham go to the flat here and draw a couple of defenders. Look at all this space. And you could say, I can speculate and say it's Jamal Adams who's supposed to be in primary coverage there, but the throw was right on time. Aaron Rodgers saw it right away. Big first touchdown catch for that kid.
He was a touchdown machine in college as Crosby adds the extra point. At Wisconsin Whitewater, 35 TDs, 35 games. This is his first in the NFL.
Well, you get a big play like that, there's always a why. Watch Tremaine Johnson and Jamal Adams start to communicate here, the combination coverage, and they just don't get it right. Jimmy Graham, looking at the bottom of the screen, he knows it's a big play right away. And he took 2, and one of them, his young wide receiver, is wide open. They needed that. That offense was struggling prior to that drive, but after that penalty on the kickoff, they went the length of the field. It's a nice response by this Packers offense.
Kumerow in his 4th NFL game with his 3rd reception, his first touchdown. Roberts on the return for the Jets. Roberts still going. Andre Roberts, the Pro Bowler, will take it all the way, 99 yards for a Jets touchdown.
How about that answer? Oh, Andre Roberts. Talked about it earlier. There's a reason. Just the explosion that he runs through there, and you got to give credit to the guys blocking up front for him here, because he goes virtually untouched. I think he only had to put his foot in the ground and make one slight cut to get there. But this is awesome. Special teams touchdowns. He's got a bunch of them this year already. Kicker, no chance.
He had a punt return touchdown week 1 in Detroit. It's his 2nd career TD on a kickoff return as Darnold celebrates. Guess what, Rondé? Flag.
I think it's delay.
Play of game by the kicking team. 5-yard penalty. We'll replay the try.
Coming into this game, Roberts led the NFL in kickoff return yardage this season. Adds to his total. Well, Todd Bowles had him in Arizona, so he knew exactly what Andre Roberts could do. Roberts now on his 5th team, and he's headed to his first Pro Bowl.
I'll see him down in Orlando, that's for sure.
You'll also see the Jets kicker, Jason Myers, 2 special teamers heading to Orlando.
It's that time of the year where the NFL gives out presents in the form of Pro Bowl selections. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers, best in the league. Devontae Adams, his season. But Jamal Adams has come on and had a fantastic season. Not on that last play, but we know what he is as a football player. And then those 2 specialists for the Jets. And in a down year, and a lost year really for both these teams, it's always nice to be rewarded to have some guys represent yourselves in that AFC-NFC matchup.
So Andre Roberts takes it 99 yards immediately following the Packers touchdown. So Roberts on his 5th team, a Pro Bowler for the first time, joining this exclusive list. Players who finally made it to a Pro Bowl after playing for 5 or more teams. How about former Packer Desmond Howard, a Super Bowl MVP?
Absolutely.
In the club.
Lorenzo Neal made it, and you see that fullback. That was our Super Bowl team. Tom Tupa punted with me.
Matt Bryant, former teammate of yours as well. So congratulations to Andre Roberts. This is Moore looking to return the favor for the Packers, but he's tackled at the 35-yard line by the Pro Bowl kicker, Jason Myers. So Kurt Menefee. Kurt.
Okay, it's about 70 yards or so shorter than Andre Roberts, but still impressive. James White from the Patriots, 27-yard touchdown run, and New England up 14-0 over Buffalo, trying to get back in that number 2 slot in the AFC playoff race. Kenny, Rondé?
All right, thanks, Kurt. Patriots clinch the division with a win or a Miami loss. Dolphins tied 7-7 with the Jaguars. So the Packers back on offense on their last play. Rodgers connected with Kumaro on a 49-yard touchdown. This is Davante Adams. Adams out to the 42. That's his 4th catch. He's now 8 shy of tying Sterling Sharp's franchise record in one season. Sharp with 112 receptions back in '93.
Well, last night in our meeting, and Kenny, you weren't there because you were doing your other job, but we were talking about Sharp and the type of receiver that he was. Unfortunately, he got hurt, or his numbers would have been untouchable. But it's awesome watching Davante Adams. These past 2 or 3 years here turned into the player that he is.
2nd down and 4. Here's Adams. Catch number 5. Brought down at the 42-yard line by Buster Skrine.
And you wonder sometimes how a guy like Davante Adams, why it takes so long for him to develop. Well, he was hurt earlier in his career, and then he's just come on strong. He's got great understanding with his quarterback, and there's those numbers from Sterling Sharp. I mean, he never got to play against him, obviously, but I was a fan of football back then. I was a young guy, still in high school and college my first year. Sterling Sharp was unstoppable, and it's looking like Davante Adams in this offense is the same type of player.
3rd down and 3. 3.5 remaining in the 2nd quarter. As Rodgers throws, and wide open is St. Brown. Finally tackled inside the 25-yard line.
What's another one of those plays where the Jets defense gets caught up, and here's Equanimeous St. Brown. I love saying that name. Just a little fake stalk block, and then the Jets defender's eyes get distracted. He just throws it over the top of the defense. Watch this hit that Aaron Rodgers takes from Leonard Williams right in the solar plexus. And that little stalk block that he put out there was a nice little sell. Act like he was going to block for the blitzing or the rolling out quarterback, maybe a play to the flat. And he just released upfield unscathed.
Defense, 12 players on the field in formation with the snap imminent. It's a 5-yard penalty. It's still 1st down.
Now Buster Skrine heads off the field. Jets had 12 men out on their defense.
I know he's playing hurt, and this is a very slow get up. That does not feel good when you get any part of your body hit with a helmet into the gut. Ugh.
You feel a little better up here today. Williams, not much. You know, you talked about some of the young receivers, Equanimeous St. Brown and Marquez Valdez-Scantling, and commented on their names. We asked Aaron Rodgers about those guys yesterday. He referred to them as 83 and 19. I said to him, you're lucky you get to refer to them by number. We have to say their names.
I'm sure he has nicknames for them all, some of these pronunciations.
2nd down and 5 as we approach the 2-minute warning. And the Packers will not get the snap off in time, with the Jets leading Green Bay 21-7. Back in a moment. Holiday season in New York. I know you've enjoyed your weekend in the metropolitan area.
Absolutely. I didn't get down to Union Square, but I did see my brother this weekend and celebrate some Christmas cheer. Happy holidays to all of y'all out there. Merry Christmas. A couple of days away. I still got some shopping to do.
Cheeky getting ready for his Broadway debut.
That's right.
2 minutes remaining. 2nd quarter. Aaron Rodgers has completed his last 9 pass attempts. 2nd down and 5. Rodgers can't find anyone. Moving to his left and then throws it away, and there is a flag. thrown at the end of the play.
Holding. Offense, number 75. 10-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Right tackle Brian Bulaga.
Well, the one thing with these scrambling type quarterbacks, these second reaction quarterbacks that try to make plays happen late, it puts a lot of stress on the offensive line, especially when you get quick outside linebackers. You're going to see Brian Bulaga here, right here, just grab Copeland, trying to protect Aaron's already taken a couple of hits today, 2 sacks and the 1 hit by Leonard Williams. So backs up the Packers here, makes it second and long.
2nd and 15 from the Jets' 29-yard line. Rodgers sets, throws, it's complete. St. Brown inside the 15, down to the 14-yard line as some extracurricular activity after the play involving Leonard Williams and Brian Bulaga, and a flag is thrown.
Well, he just threw a punch, Leonard Williams did. He was sitting right in front of Ron Torbert when he did it. Just saw Brian Bulaga trying to protect his quarterback. Aaron Rodgers trying to protect his offensive lineman here. There's only 1 penalty flag on the ground, but the extracurricular lasted for a while, and then Leonard Williams threw a punch into the helmet of Brian Bulaga at the very end. I'm sure that's what they're discussing right here.
Williams has headed to the sidelines. They could be discussing an ejection.
Absolutely. That was more or less the point I was trying to make. And
Al Riveron and the New York office can review potential ejections.
Yes.
In these situations. And that could be the delay.
And here's the very end of that play, and this is before, and watch, both guys are going to go to the ground. It just comes out of frame there, but trust me, it was happening. I was watching it. This is taking a while for them to decide what to do here.
We welcome in Dean Blandino from Los Angeles. Dean, your thoughts?
Yeah, so if it's something like a punch, what the crew could be discussing is whether they're going to eject
Personal
him.
foul, unnecessary roughness. Defense, number 92, throwing a punch. Number 92 is disqualified from the game. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
All right, so
And that's the key. So if they decide to eject him on the field, then they will go back to New York and confirm that. And I think that's what they were waiting on to get that confirmation from New York.
Well, here's the all-22, so you'll be able to see the end of the play when he throws Brian Bulaga to the ground. That keeps running. You'll see it. Now it just comes out of frame again. But like I said, he was right in front of Ron Torbert after he threw him to the ground. You saw the chop of the arm, but when he was on the ground, trust me, he put a fist into the helmet of that offensive tackle, and that's where that ejection came from.
right, we both saw it live. So it's 1st and goal from the 7-yard line for the Packers. This is Jamal Williams inside the 5. He's in. Touchdown. Adams tried to knock him out of bounds, but the extra effort by Williams, and he's able to score.
Great effort by Jamal Williams here. This is, for all intents and purposes, looks like it's getting ready to go out of bounds. 2 Jets defenders, and look at that, tiptoeing down the sideline with his foot and his hand. Stays up, and great call by the official getting that one right. Excellent effort, tremendous effort by Jamal Williams. No foot in the weight, no hand in the weight. Look at that extension. Great play.
Third touchdown of the season for Williams. Terrific effort to stay in bounds. It has been confirmed. All scoring plays are reviewed. Mason Crosby with the extra point. So an action-packed second quarter here at MetLife Stadium. It's now 21-14 Jets. Jamal Williams has pulled the Green Bay Packers to within 7. We've had 4 straight touchdowns. Only 2 punts in the first half. Jets have not punted. Andre Roberts returned the last kickoff, 99 yards for a Jets score.
For the Packers, you're thinking about, do I have to kick to this guy again? There's so much wind here. I don't think that it's not blustery, but it's enough that a ball's not going to be able to kick through the end zone going this way, I don't think.
Roberts is set up at the 5. And he will take it at the 6-yard line. Roberts across the 30. 25-yard return to Los Angeles. What's coming up at halftime, Kurt Menefee?
Coming up on the Visa halftime, the Eagles cling to their playoff hopes as they host the Texans. The Colts must snow the Giants to stay alive. And the Dolphins try to keep their slim playoff hopes from freezing over as they take on the Jaguars. Hey, we're just getting warmed up. The Visa halftime is next.
All right, Kurt, we look forward to it. Jets offense back on the field, Rame, for the first time in the last 6 minutes. 2 Packer drives. Jets kickoff return touchdown in between. So Sam Darnold back to work. He was looking for Robbie Anderson. Pass sails away out of bounds.
Todd Bowles and Jeremy Bates will be happy with the way that their team has responded today. Obviously, the kickoff return greatly helps, but their offense has found its rhythm here the past month of this season. Get a 2-minute drive to top it off for the half here.
Packers deferred at the start of the game, so they will get the ball first in the second half. As Darnold directs traffic and now throws, and it's nearly intercepted. Pass intended for McGuire.
He can move around. You stand next to him. He's a big kid. His feet get a little happy here. Maybe seeing a little ghost. The pocket collapsing. There's only 3 men in this route, in this rush. And I like this. Go that way. Go that way. It's a little bit out of the reach of Elijah McGuire, and then your cornerback Tony Brown wasn't expecting that to get to him. Could have had an interception.
Now 3rd down and 10. Jets must get to the 41 for a first down. Play clock winding down. Darnold to the outside, and that's broken up, intended for Deontay Burnett. Tony Brown defending. Jets will punt it away.
No success on this drive. This is Deontay Burnett in the slot. And this is a little bit dangerous by Sam Darnold. Last thing you want to do, 2-minute drive, is throw an interception in your own territory. I think he puts it enough out of bounds where only his receiver could make the catch. It wouldn't have been a first down anyways. They would have had to punt.
So Lachlan Edwards out to punt for the first time today. Jets used only 19 seconds of the clock during that possession as Williams took a hard hit and a flag is thrown. Ball is loose. There are 3 flags on the field.
Pretty sure this flag is going to be a hit to the head and neck area because the punt returner It's also given that defenseless protection. Trenton Cannon came out of there like
it was shot out of a cannon.
Out of a cannon and hit Tramon Williams here. Can't go to the head neck area. That's exactly where that hit is. It's tough too. I mean, he's trying to lower his pad level to get into the body of Tremaine Williams, but because he went down to get the ball, his head gets in there. Cannon, he's a gunner out there on the outside. It's the toughest job in sport, if you ask me. You usually get a two-man holdup. This guy makes a bunch of tackles on special teams. He's so fast. This is Tremaine Williams getting some treatment on the sideline. Obviously, helmets come together like that.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Number 40 of the defense. Hit on a defenseless player. That 15-yard penalty will be assessed from the dead ball spot. First down.
So this will set up terrific field position for the Packers. They have 3 timeouts, 54 seconds on the clock. There's Tramon Williams receiving medical attention.
Working on that right eye. Again, I'm sure his helmet came down and popped him in the forehead and him sticking his tongue out there. That's not a good feeling.
Ball spotted at the 39-yard line. There's Cannon, who committed the penalty. Aaron Rodgers on the last Packers drive, 4 of 4, 55 yards. Packers have scored touchdowns on their last 2 possessions after a slow start. On first down, it's Jamaal Williams. Williams across midfield into Jets territory for a Packers first down to the Jets 46. And after that gain of 15, Green Bay will use their first timeout. Well, coming up on New Year's Eve, the Red Box Bowl kicks off. Oregon and Michigan State, 2:30 Eastern on Fox. Then on FS1, it's number 17 Utah and number 22 Northwestern in the San Diego County Credit Union Holiday Bowl, 6:30 Eastern. Catch it all on the Fox Sports app.
I like that tie-in. Holiday Bowl, right? You're going to go get some Red Box and watch movies on the holiday. This is Tramon going to the locker room early. I'm sure they're probably going to check him for concussion before the half.
45 seconds, 2 timeouts for Aaron Rodgers and the Packers offense. From the Jets 46. Rodgers could not find anyone. Gets back to the line of scrimmage and then is brought down by Frankie Louisville.
Well, the Jets are going to give the illusion of pressure. All these guys are going to drop out and takes away any immediate throwing lane for Aaron Rodgers, and then Louisville on your right just working for a sack. And this Jets defense doesn't have what you would call a dominant edge rusher. These outside linebackers in this 3-4 scheme that stand on the line of scrimmage. By the collection of them, though, I think has been really good, really productive so far for this Jets defense. And we talked to Jordan Jenkins on Friday, and he spoke very highly of the group led by Kevin Green, their outside linebacker coach, and you got to appreciate the work that they've put in trying to get pressure this season for the Jets.
There's Kevin. One of the all-time greats. 2nd down and 10. From the 46-yard line of the Jets. Catch is made by Williams out of the backfield. Jamal Adams comes up to make the play. Clock stops with 36 seconds remaining.
Well, if you're Green Bay, all you want is to get yourself in position where you can try to get points on the board. Obviously, you've mentioned it, getting the ball back after the half, and look at it early in the game, 3 of 5, and I know the numbers don't look bad, but he was hit a bunch. He couldn't stay on the football field. Since then, 9 of 9. He's looking like the Aaron Rodgers we all know.
He's completed 11 straight. 3rd down and 4. Incomplete, but there is a flag. Pass intended for Davante Adams.
Well, he's working against Morris Claiborne, and he ends up running into another Jets defender on the way to on this slant route. Here's the matchup right here. Morris Claiborne gets a great jam at the line of scrimmage, and then he's going to run into Hewitt. And the flag came in right there. It could have been the hold, too, at the end of that play.
Use of hands in the face of the defense. It's a 5-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
Yeah, take one more look at this. You're going to see his hand actually gets in his helmet right there, and that's the call. I initially thought it was that right there that they were going to call for a penalty. I was like, that's not necessarily a penalty, but yes, hands to the face. That is a foul.
So it's a first down for Green Bay. Now 33 seconds remaining in the half. Packers with 1 timeout. From the Jets 35. Rodgers throws near side. And it's the tight end Jimmy Graham who makes the catch at the 32-yard line.
I haven't mentioned his name all day, Kenny, and Jimmy just runs a little flat route. He's really kind of the outlet here. He's chipping the block, nobody to block. Aaron Rodgers finds him late. He's a guy that really hasn't had the type of year I was expecting him to have here in Green Bay. I think he still has it. Doesn't look like he's slowed down and all, but there's a lot of elements to go into being productive in this offense, especially with all the off-schedule plays. Aaron Rodgers hasn't found him enough this season.
5-time Pro Bowler. Rodgers connects once again. This time it's Scantling to Carissa in Los Angeles.
Thanks, Kenny. So Vikings trailing 9-0 in Detroit. And Kirk Cousins finds Stephon Diggs for this 8-yard score. Still trailing 9-7. Kenny?
All right, thanks, Carissa. Vikings clinch a playoff berth with a win and an Eagles loss. Down to 24 seconds. 3rd down and 1. Rodgers on 3rd down. Pass is caught at the 24-yard line by the fullback Danny Vitale, and he looks to have a first down. 17 seconds on the clock, and the final timeout is taken by the Packers.
He thought about running this thing right here, and obviously you would only do that if you have a tight end or a timeout. You only make this throw to the middle of the field if you have a timeout. Now this situation, 17 seconds. You either take a shot here, you got to work a play to the sideline to save yourself, at least give Mason Crosby a chance to get a field goal here before the half.
Packers are in field goal range. They get the ball first following halftime. They've scored touchdowns on their last 2 possessions.
And this is a situation too for Aaron Rodgers. You can buy some time. You got enough time to do his trademark, scramble around, find an open receiver, and still take care of the football. Davante Adams, bottom of the screen, matched up with Tremaine Johnson's matchup here to watch.
Rodgers pump fake. Pass is incomplete. Bounces behind Jamal Williams. Now 12 seconds remaining.
Well, he had Jimmy Graham. Watch, he's going to run that same type of route out here. If he wanted to get it to him quickly, he comes off it quick and just throws it in the dirt to save that little bit of time there. See if they can get another play in here.
So that ends Rodgers' streak. He had completed 14 in a row.
When I say throw it in the dirt, I mean the ground up tires, which is the turf.
Right.
If I'm going to be correct about it.
We knew what you meant. 12 seconds, no timeouts. From the Jets 24. Rodgers sets, and now he throws. throws to the end zone and through the back of the end zone. So now Rodgers will head off. Mason Crosby and the field goal unit comes out.
Yeah, absolutely nothing there. Smart to throw this out here. This is going to be this type of route. Neither one of these guys come open. The Jets are playing some sort of two deep with the corner in the flat and both safeties high. So yeah, just protect the football, put it where nobody can catch it, let your kicker come on and try to make a field goal here.
42-yard attempt for Crosby, the Packers' all-time leading scorer from the right hash. Crosby's kick is straight through. So the Packers have pulled to within 4. The Jets' lead is 21-17. A couple of teams already knocked out of playoff contention. An exciting first half, a lot of scoring in the second quarter, but there will definitely be many questions on both sides come the offseason in just over a week.
Well, we know that Green Bay is looking for a coach. There's plenty of speculation that Todd Bowles won't be here next year either. So if you're a player in this game, you know what you're playing for. You're playing for 2019. Obviously, you want to finish the season. I talked about in the open how this reveals some character in a game that doesn't really mean anything. But I think it's important for really both of these teams to try to finish on a high coming out these last 2 weeks. So it'll be competitive, and I like that it's turned into this type of game. Early, it looked like the Jets were rolling, but since then, the Packers have gotten their stride back, and Aaron Rodgers has looked good throwing the football. He'll get his opportunity to come right out of the tunnel, get this team back where he wants it.
Jets led this game 14-0. It's now 21-17 New York. This is Cannon as time winds all the way down to the first half comes to an end with the Jets leading by 4. The play of the first half presented by DirecTV. More for your thing, that's our thing. How about the Pro Bowl return man for the Jets? Andre Roberts takes it back 99 yards in the second quarter. This gave the Jets a 21-7 lead, but the Packers would score on their next possession. The Visa Halftime Report with Kurt and the gang from Los Angeles is coming up next.
Watch Herndon pull this thing in with one hand.
It's McGuire, and he is in for a Jets touchdown. Anderson, he walks it in for a Jets touchdown. Rodgers throws wide open as Kumaro inside the 10. Touchdown, Andre Roberts, the Pro Bowler, will take it all the way, 99 yards. Today's game flow brought to you by Progressive as we get set for the third quarter here at MetLife Stadium. Jets leading the Packers 21-17. Kenny Albert along with Rondé Barber. It's week 16. Two teams already eliminated. Entertaining first half. Jets got started early, took a 14-0 lead, and then the Packers came on strong at the end of the second quarter.
Well, entertaining, that's to say the least. How many big plays have we had in this game with the receivers and, you know, Andre Roberts justifying his Pro Bowl bid with that 99-yard touchdown return. But this is a game, we talked to Joe Philbin, and he said his team all season long has not played 60 minutes. And when you look at the Jets, they've been in games. They just haven't finished. So there's something to happen at the end of this game for both of these teams. They got a lot to play for still. We've already mentioned the coaching potential change here in New York, the change that's going to happen in Green Bay. So this should be entertaining. And I got to give credit to Green Bay because they started this game listless. They were down time possession, a bunch of big plays by Sam Darnold and this Jets offense, but they've climbed their way back in and they get the football back here to start the second half.
Green Bay looking for their first win on the road all season. Packers made the coaching change earlier in the month. Let it go Mike McCarthy after nearly 13 full seasons. So the Packers will start at their 25. Down to Christina.
Yeah, Kenny, I did talk to interim head coach Joe Philbin at the half. He said, we played a lot better in that second quarter. We know they haven't played 60 minutes of football, but he said we have to protect better. Not happy with giving up the few sacks in that first half. Defensively, he said we have to bring Sam Darnold to the ground. We have to get in there, disrupt his rhythm in the passing game. They also have an injury on defense to update. Jair Alexander will not return, came out of the locker room in street clothes. His day is done. Kenny?
All right, thanks, Christina. And remember, the Jets lost one of their starters on the defensive line when Leonard Williams was ejected after throwing a punch in the second quarter. Rodgers complete to the tight end Lance Kendricks. First down and more. He is finally knocked out of bounds after a big gain, 20 yards on the first play of the third quarter.
Well, he's going to come all the way across your formation here underneath this little sub boot that we used to call, and some nice yardage after the play. This guy's been good for the Packers. He's not been much of a receiver this year, but we know that he has that ability. Been asked to do a lot of blocking, but gets a big play here to start the second half.
From the 45, new set of downs for the Packers. Rodgers quickly out to Davante Adams. He's across midfield. His 6th reception today, 106 on the season.
Well, how many times have we seen this exact play? Just this little rise up and throw it outside, bear pass, whatever you want to call it, now pass. Different offenses have different terms for it, but if you're Tremaine Johnson or Morris Claiborne on the other side, you're going to give that free release. You're going to give him that yardage. There's no reason that Aaron Rodgers is going to turn around and hand the ball off and bang his head against the wall, bang the offensive head against the wall. Just pick up, throw it to Davante Adams, let him do what he's done all year. And yes, he's chasing that record again, Kenny.
6 shy of matching Sterling Sharp. On second down, it's Williams on the toss. Williams gains a couple, dragged out by Hewitt. We talked about the Jets' strong start. They led 14-0 over the last 9 minutes, 3 seconds of the second quarter. Check out those numbers, 189 yards for the Packers, nothing for the Jets on offense.
And of course, one of those plays, scoring plays, was a kick return. So they've only had one drive. They haven't done anything with it. And Aaron Rodgers heating up. Looks very comfortable. The rhythm of this offense has started to take a little bit more of a shape that I expect out of a Packers offense here.
This play is blown dead.
Ball start. Offense, number 69. 5-yard penalty. It's third down.
Left tackle David Bakhtiari.
This offense has the ability to extend plays, obviously, with the quarterback, but in order to get a rhythm, Kenny, I think you have to get the ball out of his hand quick. And just talked about those little passes that he's given Davante Adams, but he's also getting the ball out quick in regular passing game, hitting his back foot and then letting it go. I think that's where this offense needs to go. And when they evaluate themselves at the end of the year, they're going to notice that their offense works better when it's working that way.
Third down at 7, it's Adams. Looked like he had a first down and then curled back, but he will be awarded forward progress. So he does pick up a first.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And you see the yellow line superimposed, but it's the point of first contact from the defenders where it's going to stop. And I don't know, man. He voluntarily goes behind that line there, and Jamal Adams hits him well short of that line, but officials spotted him past it.
7 receptions for Adams today. And there is number 8 at the Jets' 34-yard line. 11-yard gain, another Packers first down.
Like I said, if they're going to give him this room, Aaron Rodgers is going to make sure that he touches this record here really quickly. Just a little out route, you know, and Tremaine Johnson's playing off bail technique and gets spun around. Ball hits Davante Adams in the face, and yes, he's closing in.
Well, we spoke with Rodgers yesterday. He said, sure, I'd love to help get the record. You know, Jordy Nelson was a favorite target of mine for many years, but Davante's been a great practice player. He works so hard, and it's translated onto the field this season. It's Adams again, but he loses yardage on the tackle by Buster Screen, but it still goes down as a reception.
Well, he said that very coy-like he wasn't even thinking about it. I guarantee you this week, because the number is getting close, that it was a point. And I know Joe Philbin is thinking the same thing. You know, this guy should be rewarded with the record. And this is nothing against the guys that are ahead of him, but his season deserves it, and a couple more, he's going to get it.
Well, if he gets it today, it would be an early birthday present. He turns 26 tomorrow.
Christmas birthday, how about those?
A lot of presents over the next couple of days. And perhaps a franchise record this afternoon. On 2nd and 12, this is St. Brown, and he breaks free for a first down.
Great run after the catch, just perfect. He really gets a great block by Jimmy Graham on the outside here. Watch Jimmy Graham right here get the defender after the catch and pin him in, and that's exactly where Equanimeous goes. He gets skinny through that gap, gets vertical. He's a thin guy. He can run. He's got some talent, man.
18 yards for number 19, as he was referred to by his quarterback.
I want to hear you say his full name at some point today, Kenny.
We might be off the air by the time I get finished with it. It's that long. From the 19, play action. Rodgers rolling to his right. He throws, and it's complete to the tight end, Lance Kendricks. How about an easier name than Equanimeous? Here's Carissa.
Carissa's a difficult name, too, Kenny. Colts, 8 seed. In the AFC, down 10, Andrew Luck to Dontrell Inman, still trailing 17-14. Kenny, Rhonda, and Christina.
You know, I will say this, when we have Carissa and then Christina,
yes,
that could be a bit of a tongue twister.
Yes. Especially because we haven't had Carissa or Christina.
Well, see, there you go.
You got me. You got me.
I jinxed you.
I did that on purpose.
Sure. Whatever you say, TV. 2nd down and 4 from the 13-yard line. Down to the 11. It is Jamal Williams.
Some tough running today. I can't stop laughing. It's been some tough running today by Jamal Williams. Every time he touches the ball, it's been impactful. Whether it's, you know, getting the ball in the passing game, but finishing forward. Such a positive runner for this Packers team today.
Now 3rd down and 2 for Green Bay. They've had the ball for over 6 minutes to start this second half. This will be the 10th play of the drive. Jimmy Graham enters the huddle.
Yeah, he came out and then came back in. And I think the Packers were trying to go fast, but you make that substitution, the Jets get a chance to substitute as well. That's why the official's standing over the ball right there.
Right, and now the play clock winds all the way down. They get the snap away. Rodgers on 3rd and 2, extends the play, still looking. They had 5 that he wanted, now he throws it away.
Jimmy Graham came into the game, and that's who he was looking for. Just ball didn't come out in time. You can see Jimmy just run like a little up and out right here. The coverage is good, and then as a defender, this is so hard. Just sticking with your guy. Scramble rules apply with Aaron Rodgers on almost every single play, and trying to direct traffic. He was looking at Devontae Adams on that side, and then just nowhere to go with the football. And really a good job by this Jets defense. And there's that smile, that coy smile again by Aaron Rodgers.
Good to see him still smiling. That 5-8-1, 29-yard attempt from the left hash. Crosby's kick is good, pulling the Green Bay Packers to within 1. Jets lead by 1. Have you ever wondered what would have happened if?
With the 2nd pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select Sam Darnold. With the 3rd pick, the New York Jets select Saquon Barkley.
It's a great question to ask, isn't it? How unique that both New York teams had 2 and 3 in the draft back-to-back, and that was the question all off-season, preseason, if either team made the right choice. But I got to tell you, I think they did. I think both teams got what they wanted. Sam Darnold, they needed a quarterback here, and Saquon Barkley has been ridiculously good as a rookie with the Giants. So you can question if, but we know what has happened with both of these teams with what they did. I think they got it right.
Saquon Barkley heading to the Pro Bowl as a 21-year-old rookie. 21-year-old Sam Darnold, and the Jets offense back on the field. The Packers have run 32 of the last 35 plays.
Well, that time of possession, remember earlier in the game, it was 10-2. Well, now it's 20-14 in favor of the Packers. So there's been a definite switch here.
Jets did have a 99-yard kickoff return for a touchdown during this period. Jets set up the screen. This is McGuire. And Elijah McGuire picks up a first down out to the 40-yard line, a gain of 15.
Just set up so nicely. It's beautiful the way. They're using this pony backfield. This is 40, Trenton Cannon, the other running back. So he's going to move out of the backfield, and then the timing of this is just excellent. And you get the blockers out front, and McGuire putting his foot in the ground, picking up some extra yardage. Well done.
Jets send in Dozier as an extra blocker to the right side. McGuire in the backfield. On first down, Darnold looking to throw. To the far side, Robbie Anderson. Another Jets first down across midfield.
Oh, we've had 3 of these rookie quarterbacks in our crew this year. Baker Mayfield, we've done a number of times. His stock is definitely up, and Sam Darnold's been up and down, but it's going the right way. These other 2 have struggled a little bit, but the one at the very end, if you watch that game last night, Lamar Jackson is coming on strong. I'm buying that stock right now because the way he's led the Baltimore Ravens to the cusp of a playoff berth has been awesome to watch.
He's now 5-1 as a starter for the Ravens. Kearse makes the catch. Jermaine Kearse. They can't bring him down. Takes it all the way to the 18-yard line of the Packers.
I'm going to go back and buy Sam Darnold stock, too. This is a play we saw earlier in the game. It's almost, it's going to look the same if you saw us early. This same play, this little slant inside, running through 3 Packers defenders, giving plenty of room. And Jermaine Kearse has had a big day today for his young quarterback.
29-yard pass play. You talk about the Ravens. John Harbaugh signing a contract extension over the weekend. His name was out there on lists of potential coaching candidates if he did not return to Baltimore. You mentioned a possible coaching change here in New York. Will the Jets consider Mike McCarthy? As Darnold is out of bounds at the 17.
I don't think Mike McCarthy's going to have to wait long to find a job.
No.
He's a good football coach, man. And you can talk about, you know, the tenure, 13 years. You know, some people say 10 years is too long to be in any one place, but his record of success is noted. So be some movement. There's movement every year, Kenny. It's, you know, we talk about being 3 or 4 openings, and every year it ends up like 7 or 8 openings. So we get to speculate that after the season's done.
We shall see. Second down and 9 from the Packers 17-yard line. This is Cannon. And it did not really fool Kyler Fackrell.
Not at all. You know, tell your defenders, especially your edge defenders, just do your job. Don't get distracted by anything else. His play is to turn everything back, and he does exactly that. Waits for the rest of the white shirts to rally and make this tackle. The play design, though, is something we've seen all day long, right? They've been using Trenton Cannon to run across that formation, really been kind of a decoy, a fake. They've either run the ball out the other way. We saw the screen earlier in this drive and finally gave it to him, but the Packers were not fooled at all.
Third down and 7. Jets must get to the 8 for a first down. Darnold fires complete. Jets pick up the first. It's Robbie Anderson. He makes the catch at the 5-yard line of Green Bay. Jets needed 7. They gained 10.
This connection is just really good. Just really, really good. He came into this game last 11 catches for 172 yards and 2 touchdowns. It's continuing here. And there's your tight end, Chris Herndon. Started the game talking about it. He made some spectacular plays. And then he gets a touchdown out of it.
Excellent job, Rodney, with the play-by-play.
I didn't mean to steal that from you, but I was talking too long.
All yours.
But the good thing they did there, came to the line fast, and you could see that the Packers are completely flummoxed here. Nobody out there. Kenny, you could have made that throw.
Maybe.
Maybe.
You've been talking about Herndon all day long, all weekend, so you may as well call the touchdown.
Well, I look, we haven't had a Jets game. I put the film on and he stands out. And there's a reason why I've been talking about him. And this showcased itself today.
The extra point is good. 4th TD of the season for the rookie out of Miami as the Jets extend their lead.
Here's the why. That's Tony Brown. the rookie cornerback for Green Bay, and just confusion on the young players on the defense, and he's going to try to rally back and get over here. Obviously lined up wrong, coming in late, maybe a substitution with the defense trying to get the dime package. Good job by this Jets offense going fast with the substitutions. Get an easy touchdown for Chris Herndon.
Jets now lead 28-20. Late third quarter. Moore will take it out. And he'll be stopped shy of the 20. Ball comes loose. And the Jets have recovered.
Big hit there, Kenny. Big hit. Yep, 52. Anthony Wynn, head right on the football. And again, another big play here in this football game. We've seen it all. Seen the kick return, seen the fumble, now on the kick return. And got to be able to take advantage of this if you're the Jets offense now.
So Anthony Wynn playing in his first NFL regular season game with the big hit, forced the fumble, and then it was recovered by Rashard Robinson.
Tony Brown's in here for Jair Alexander. I'd take that shot right there. Get a turnover, light up the club crowd here.
Penalty marker, catch is made by the tight end Eric Tomlinson. Breaks a tackle and then is wrapped up at the 13-yard line.
Holding. Offense, number 78. 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
Center Jonathan Harrison. 8th Jets penalty. Jets look to capitalize on the Green Bay turnover as we take another look.
Now there's Jonathan Harrison, your center. It's been good. You know, we talked to some of the Jets and said, look, when he took over for Spencer Long at center earlier in the year, he just owned it. And he's really been great with the young quarterback. He hasn't really been a drop-off and played that position. Probably, in fact, got better when he went in there. That was a clear hold, tackle to the ground.
They switch spots. Long now at left guard. First down at 20 on the toss. This is McGuire. Elijah McGuire to the 21-yard line of the Packers as we head back to Los Angeles. Carissa.
Thanks, Kenny. Patriots up 14-6 on the Bills. Looking to clinch the AFC East for the 10th straight season. Julian Edelman, 32-yard score in this one. Patriots up 21-6. Jets fans familiar with that one. Kenny, Rondé, and Christina.
Yes, they sure are, Carissa. Patriots clinch the division with a win or a Miami loss. Dolphins and Jaguars still tied at 7 in the fourth quarter. Second down and 12 for the Jets, who lead by 8. Darnold to McGuire. Elijah McGuire inside the 5 to the end zone. And for McGuire, his second touchdown today.
And again, there's just vacancies. It's the best word I can use on this Packer defense here in coverage. There's nobody out here. There's nobody out here when he makes this little route right here. See the blitz coming, Rashad Breeland. Nobody makes a corresponding move to get out there to cover the flat. The defensive backs were going deep with receivers, and it's about as easy as they come. Given a lot of credit over this year, at least individually us talking to Mike Pettin, but his defense is, they're not answering the bell here today.
Third touchdown pass for Sam Darnold, matching his season high. Jets score 14 points in 1:31 seconds thanks to the Green Bay turnover. Grand Central Station on a busy holiday weekend in New York. Home finale for the New York Jets. Took only 2 plays following the big hit by Anthony Wynn forcing a fumble. Jets capitalize. 35 points, most allowed by the Packers in a game this season.
I was just checking the box scores for the Jets. This is the 4th time that they put up 30-plus points in a game, so this has been a fantastic showing for them with plenty of time left in this football game still.
But the first time they've done it since mid-October. Down to Christina.
Well, Kenny, I can tell you, Todd Bowles is probably a very happy man right now. When I talked to him at halftime, his big issue was lack of production inside the 20. He said, we're moving the ball well, but we cannot punch it in the red zone. Since then, they've had 2 scoring drives, both times punching it in inside the red zone. So, Coach, with some great adjustments and a little bit of foreshadowing there at the half.
Todd Bowles is a good football coach. I've been around him enough. He was in Arizona on Bruce Arians' staff, and who knows what the future holds for him if he's somewhere else. But I guarantee you he'll be coaching the NFL next season.
Whether it's as a head coach or a defensive coordinator, highly respected around the league.
There's no question about it. He goes about his job about as, I think, succinctly and positively as you can. You can't hardly get him to talk about the negatives that have gone wrong with his football team. And you got to appreciate that. I know his players do. Like the way that he guides them, I guess is the best way to say.
His first job in the NFL following his playing career was as a college scout for the Packers back in the mid-90s under Ron Wolf. Pass complete and taken into Jets territory by Jimmy Graham. His second catch today, gain of 15 yards. Well, the Packers already made a coaching change, and that could be the scenario surrounding the Jets. And when you look at turnovers on coaching staffs and in management, returning players the next season, Giants with a new head coach, only 12 returning players, Packers only 19, and that's usually what happens when you bring a new staff in, so there could be big changes on both sides prior to next season. Flag is thrown as Williams is tackled at the 42-yard line.
All new coaches come in and they want to get the personnel that fits their schemes.
Offense, number 75, 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
And to me, that's the hardest part about coaching changes. I went through a couple of them in my career, and you end up gutting the roster. You end up trying to find new guys or younger guys, and I'm not going to get into the minutia of the salary cap and all those implications, but it's decision times. It's very rare that you find a coach, maybe Mike Tomlin in Pittsburgh, you go someplace and it's the team that you inherit and you take them from there. It's just rare. So it is difficult to find instant success when you're a new head coach.
How about John Gruden when he joined you guys in Tampa?
Oh yeah, that too. Forgot about that example.
There's Jamal Williams. Won a Super Bowl in his first season.
And we did this mock-up here this week. We're talking about a number of interim coaches since 1970, 83, and all of our guesses were like, I don't know, 10 maybe kept the job. 33, 40% of interim coaches keep the job the next year. It was somewhat surprising, but then you go through the list and you start seeing, who some of those guys are. Not a lot of them had a bunch of success though the following couple of years.
Second down and 10 as Rodgers takes a hit. He throws it away. Go back to the 2011 season as Rodgers is helped back up. 2011 Dolphins, Todd Bowles takes over as the interim head coach. Wins 2 out of 3 games. Who's he replaced by? Joe Philbin in Miami.
Of course. And this is this late flag is intentional grounding, and right call. He was not out of the tackle box.
Intentional grounding. Offense, number 12. Quarterback threw the ball to a spot where there was no eligible receiver in the vicinity. That's a loss of down at the spot of the foul. It's third down.
Right. If he gets out of those lines I just drew, all he's got to do is get it past the line of scrimmage. But clearly no receiver over there. He was just trying to evacuate the ball, and it's the right call. Pressure was good, and Jets give him credit right there for keeping him in the pocket. Obviously need to have a guy in the line of scrimmage stay up the field, because Aaron Rodgers will do crazy stuff trying to escape. Had nowhere to go with that one.
Now third down and 21. Half minute remaining in the third quarter. Rodgers throws over the middle, and that gets broken up. Nice play made by Avery Williamson.
He's been a really good football player this year. Really good, productive, doing a lot of different things for this team. Obviously, he can play in coverage, and don't touch him. You can lay your arm on the back of the receiver. Can't affect them by pulling them. Look at that. That's well done. Beautiful picture right there, too.
Williamson, the former Titan, Jets leading tackler this season. Roberts is deep. Return to kickoff, 99 yards for a touchdown earlier today. Roberts will let it bounce. And it winds up out of bounds after it deflected off his teammate, Chris Herndon.
Here you go. Here's the ball. It's in that whirling circle right here. And watch Chris Herndon. He has no idea where this football is, and it hits him on the knee. They originally came back and spotted it where they touched him. But watch his reaction. He's like, where's this football? Watch him start looking for it.
Too late, Chris.
Yeah, it went out of bounds and gained another, I don't know, 6 or 7, 8 yards. And they originally spotted it back where it first touched Chris Herndon, but didn't touch a Packer, so it goes back to where it went out of bounds. That's why the ball's down here at the 20.
Herndon with a touchdown reception earlier this third quarter. Jets start from their 21-yard line. Darnold with 3 touchdown passes today. Connects with Cannon out of the backfield for a gain of 5. So the New York Jets, who led 14-0. Packers early in the third quarter pulled to within a point. But the Jets with touchdowns from Herndon and McGuire. It's a 15-point Jets lead as we head to the fourth. Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers, Sam Darnold and the New York Jets. We head to the fourth quarter. Rodgers only 7 incompletions. Darnold only 5 to go along with 3 touchdowns and a QB rating just short of perfect.
We came into this game talking about the young versus the old quarterbacks here, and Sam Darnold's impressed going against the future Hall of Famer and Aaron Rodgers. Some of those incompletions can have been throwaways, so yeah, his day's been outstanding so far.
On 2nd and 5, the handoff, it's Cannon. Cannon out of bounds, shy of the marker. We've been talking about these two quarterbacks all day long. Rodgers had to wait until the 24th overall pick in 05. Darnold, 3rd overall in this year's draft. Rodgers sat behind Brett Favre for 3 years. A look at his record first season as a starter. And it's Blake Martinez back at the 16-yard line who takes down Darnold.
You'll see him. Just a little delayed blitz, and nobody on that Jets offensive line saw that coming. We didn't see it coming. They tried to go fast there, come to the line of scrimmage, and sneak a snap there on that 3rd and short. Got to pick up the blitzer.
Javon Williams back on the field, took that hit to the head earlier from Trenton Cannon. Punting from his 10. Lachlan Edwards. Williams, fair catch at the 39-yard line. So Blake Martinez, his 5th sack of the season. Packers offense back out. How about this one? A green Santa Claus.
Only in Jets Stadium can you get a green Santa Claus. You see the red one behind him. Look up there.
Well, perhaps we would see it in Lambeau as well, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Very apropos.
Green Bay Packers and Gang Green, as the Jets are referred to here in New York. Early fourth quarter, Rodgers sacked back at the 30-yard line. Neville Hewitt.
Watch Neville Hewitt avoid this block right here. This is awesome. Nope. There have been a lot of sacks in this game, a lot of pressure. Both of these defensive coordinators love to bring that extra guy, and knowing that you're going to get a one-on-one, and then it's up to you. You have to win. He did it there. That was well done.
4th sack by the Jets defense today. 2nd down and 19. Rodgers to Davante Adams. That's his 10th reception as we head to Los Angeles. Carissa.
Thanks, Kenny. Vikings up 17-9 in Detroit when Kirk Cousins finds Kyle Rudolph for this 4-yard score. Vikings trying to hold on to the 6th seed in the NFC, currently up 24-9. Kenny, Rondé, and Casino.
Very apropos, Rudolph, a touchdown.
I see what you
December 23rd.
Let's see what Carissa did there for us after coming back from that break.
The assist to Carissa. 3rd down at 11. Packers must get to the 49 for a first down. Rodgers steps up and throws, and it's complete. For first down and more, staying in bounds is Marquez Valdes-Scantling, and he is finally tackled at the Jets' 20-yard line, a 42-yard catch and run.
I talked earlier in the game about ground force production. Most quarterbacks have to throw with both feet on the ground to get the ball that far down the field, and he does it just with his arm strength. Look at that. That's awesome. Valdes-Scantling came all the way across the field. He bought plenty of time, Aaron Rodgers did, stepping up into the pocket, and it's what he's always done well. Impossible to stop plays like that from this quarterback.
Rodgers over 300 yards today. 321 in the air. Pump fake. And now he overthrows Adams in the end zone.
He had him too. He absolutely had him. It's a little double move, a little slant and go versus cover 4. And I'll show you what cover 4 is right here. This safety's got inside, this safety's deep. And watch when this slant, he gets right past him. If that ball has a little bit flatter trajectory on it, may be able to get in there. Aaron Rodgers knows he missed it. Just missed it.
Now 2nd and 10. Packers trailing by 15. Adams, top of your screen, split out wide to the left. 10 receptions, 2 shy of matching the franchise record. Pass is short in the vicinity of Davante Adams. 3rd down upcoming.
Yeah, it was short because he got pressure again. There was just no chance for him to make one of those amazing arm throws there. 3rd down. I would not imagine they're going to kick a field goal after this play. I see them going for it here. Two down territory here. You got your biggest receiver on the field right there, Jimmy Graham. See if he takes a shot at him.
Play clock winding down. 3rd down and 10. Rodgers backpedals, now throws. It's off the hands of Marquez Valdes-Scantling. And Mason Crosby in the field goal unit heads out.
Oh, his eyes were at least in the direction of Jimmy Graham right here in the slot. Working against Hewitt. He probably could have got there if he would have tried to force that ball in. Instead, he tries to go to Valdes-Scantling working across, and he's open. Got to catch it. Ball hit your hands. Got to be a catch.
Now, you thought they would leave the offense out. I agreed with you, Rondé.
Well, I think if they would have got any kind of positive yardage there, they would have.
Crosby connects. Still a 2-score game. No T-shirt for you, Rondé.
Oh, I love T-shirts. T-shirt cannons, though. Those are awesome. How fun is that job? You run around the stadium just firing projectiles into the stadium.
Jets lead by 12. Roberts was set up short. Jets will start at their 25 as Darnold and the offense heads back out. It's week 16. Saints marching on, top spot in the NFC. How about the job Matt Nagy has done in Chicago this year? Bears with 10 wins. Rams struggling a bit over the last couple of weeks. They were the hottest team in the NFL along with the Chiefs earlier this season. Though 3 teams have already clinched division titles, Cowboys will do the same with a win today. They lead Tampa Bay by 14 in the 4th quarter. Play action on first down. Darnold complete. Robbie Anderson, he's had a big day. He's over 100 yards, and that's his 8th reception.
He really has, Kenny. He's been fantastic for him. And this long crossing route and the athleticism of Sam Darnold to get out of this pocket. And, you know, any quarterback can do this, get on the edge, but to be able to make that throw off platform again, just highlights what he's going to be in the future. And I love him. I love this kid. I love the way he plays. I love his attitude. When you sit down with him, you see the love for the game that he has. I really enjoyed getting to meet with him on Friday. Excited for what he's going to be here in New York.
7 of Anderson's 8 receptions have gone for first downs. This is McGuire, 2 flags as McGuire crosses midfield.
There were 2 fouls during the play, both by the offense. Holding, number 83, that penalty is declined. Personal foul, chop block, number 79, that penalty is accepted. 15 yards from the previous spot. Repeat first down.
Ninth Jets penalty today.
Yeah, this is on Quali's right here. Just, it's going to be engaged. And then you see Brian Winters also engaged. And it doesn't look like it's on purpose, but 2 guys can't interact with a defensive player, one high and one low. Easy call to see that.
Forcing the Jets back to their 22-yard line, first down at 25. Darnold moving to his left, now throws, and this catch is made by Anderson. He was able to get 2 feet down in bounds for a gain of 20.
Well, I'm watching this play live, and you see young quarterbacks, and sometimes they try to do too much. I was saying, just throw this ball to the flat. Take the available receiver in the flat. You see Herndon right here, he could have gotten the ball to, but this is just great. Just a great pass. And then a fantastic catch at the end, contested over Tony Brown. Well done. Robbie Anderson's really good day continues.
His 9 receptions are a career high. He's averaging 15.5 yards per catch today. Off the play fake. Darnold moving to his right, throws, and that's off the left hand of Anderson, incomplete. As we head down to the field, Christina.
Well, Kenny, Sam Darnold having a great game in front of one of his favorite players, Aaron Rodgers. It's the guy he loves to watch on film. He hasn't had a chance to meet him in person just yet, but they did exchange texts in the offseason. Talking to Darnold in warmups, he said the general message was just play your game. Don't try to force it when you come into the league. He's got the talent. He said it was a casual conversation, but one that meant a lot to him, and I'm sure he'll have some more words for him to him after the game.
He's playing his game today, Christina. 27 to 37, 309 yards, and yeah, he's been outstanding. It's been fun to watch this game.
Third down and 5. Darnold throws, looking for Anderson, and that one deflects off the corner, Josh Jackson. So the Jets will punt it away.
Good coverage. Josh Jackson's going to be a good corner in this league. He's had some growing pains this year, but he led the NCAA's in interceptions last year, and you see the length. You see why he's so good. And that instinct to turn back and find that ball there, look at it. That's perfectly done. Wins at the line of scrimmage, stays in phase down the field, disrupts the pass. Nice.
He had 8 picks at Iowa last year. Led all collegiates. Tramon Williams is back deep. 12-point game, just under 10 minutes remaining from MetLife Stadium. Punting from his 32-yard line, Edwards. Williams will let it bounce, and it takes a Jets roll inside the 10-yard line. Back after this message from State Farm. Welcome back. Jets leading 35-23. Kenny Albert, Rodney Barber, and Christina Pink back with us, following her first season with Joe and Troy and Aaron, Thursday Night Football crew on Fox.
She did a fantastic job on Thursday night, too.
Great to have her back for these final 2 weeks of the regular season. She was with us all last year. Worst starting field position of the game for Aaron Rodgers, and the Packers. Catch is made by St. Brown. And he takes a hard hit. A flag is thrown following that hit by Darryl Roberts.
No question what this flag is. He took a big hit, and he's still down. Kenny, this is going to go on the reel, defenseless player reel at the end of the season. It's a great throw, great catch, but
defense number 27 with a hit to a defenseless player. 15-yard penalty from the end of the play. Automatic first down.
And again, from a defensive perspective, it's tough because the receiver's going down, but that is it. You cannot hit the head and neck area. And Dean Blandino, who's with us, can shed some more light on it, but we've seen it a bunch, Dean.
Yeah, we've seen this, and the thing is, even though he caught the ball, he still gets protection until he can protect himself. So he did tuck the ball away, but it's on the defender to stay away from the head-neck area. Shoulder to the head, it was a good call.
And we saw it right away. You could tell just the way it was getting ready to line up that it was going to happen. And again, trying to lower that level I was a DB. I've been there. And obviously, this rule wasn't called back in my time playing, but since the onus has to be on the defensive player to find the right angle or a way to not contact that head neck area.
That's the 10th Jets penalty, the 4th personal foul. St. Brown remains on the sideline. 24-yard catch, 15 more on the penalty. And now St. Brown heads off to the Green Bay locker room. The handoff to Jamal Williams. Williams out to the 48-yard line with under 9 minutes remaining. We were talking about Equanimeous St. Brown, the rookie out of Notre Dame. His father, John, a 2-time Mr. Universe.
It's a talented family, for sure. He's got 2 younger brothers playing in college, good players in their own right.
And he has 5 catches today for 94 yards. Rodgers swings it out. Williams across midfield as we head to Los Angeles for a game break. Kurt.
All right, don't write off the champion Eagles just yet. Zach Ertz, 11 catches, 90 yards, 2 touchdowns. That gives him 112 for the year, most ever by a tight end in a season. Nick Foles, 4 touchdown passes, 400 yards, and they are up by 13 with less than 5 minutes left in a game they need to win to stay alive for the playoff hunt. Kenny?
I got to tell you what, Nick Foles, this time of year is Nick Foles' time. And last year he did the same thing. They got a little uphill road to get to the playoffs, but they're beating a really good team in Houston.
4 touchdowns for Foles today. He once threw 7 in one game against the Raiders. Rodgers with time, directing traffic, still holding on to the football. And now he will throw it out of bounds. Did not find anyone downfield.
And if you've ever been to a Packers practice, training camp, or whatnot, back in the day, you used to see these veteran receivers know how to come back to the ball and help their quarterback when he extends. These young receivers just haven't quite figured it out. Davante Adams is running down the field. He's out of the equation, but look, all these bodies going away from the quarterback. One of these guys needs to find their way back to the quarterback so Aaron Rodgers has a place to throw this football. You see him directing traffic. He's like, somebody come back, help me, man. Somebody be there for me. At the end of the day, he's just got to run and throw it out of bounds.
It is now 4th down and 1. Play clock winding down. Rodgers calls timeout.
First charge timeout. Green Bay.
So the Packers trailing by 12. And the line of scrimmage, the Jets 46. Joe Philbin leads his offense out on the field. Well, next Sunday, the crew of the Starship Orville is back. From creator Seth MacFarlane comes a brand new season of thrilling missions and epic adventures. The Orville Season 2 premieres next Sunday after football. Right here on Fox. We were talking about these 2 quarterbacks. Sam Darnold had not yet turned 8 when Aaron Rodgers was drafted by the Packers in the first round back in 2005, sharing the field for the first time. Darnold with 3 touchdown passes, trying to stay warm. Rodgers has thrown for 350 yards and 1 score. 4th down and 1, and the catch is made for a Packers first down by the tight end Robert Tonyan. That's his 3rd reception of the season.
Robert Tonyan's first catch of his career, if you remember, Kenny, was a touchdown from Aaron Rodgers. This is a nice route. Little stick route, goes in, squares up the defender, and then breaks away from him. The ball hits him right out of the cut. And that's a nice execution on 4th down.
This set of downs for Green Bay from the Jets 35. Rodgers throws, and this catch is made by Kumerow, who scored his first NFL touchdown earlier. Jermaine Johnson makes the tackle at the Jets' 29-yard line, a gain of 6. 7 minutes remaining. Packers trailing by 12. Looking for their first road victory of the season. Packers have not gone winless on the road since 1958. That pass intended for Adams. It was broken up by Williamson.
Yeah, Williamson does a great job rallying to this play and knocking this ball out. This route's going to be here, and then Williamson's going to come from the inside here. He's got his defender beat, and then last second touches it out. Well done. That is a look of frustration. See, he knew he had his receiver open. Ball wasn't delivered late. It was just a really good play by the defender.
3rd down and 4. Packers must get to the 25 for a first down. Rodgers on 3rd down, fires downfield, and there are 2 flags. Screen on the coverage. Marquez Valdes-Scantling, the intended receiver.
Yeah, tough defensive play here for Buster Screen, and like he's saying that the defender had him, or the wide receiver had him.
Pass interference. Defense, number 41. Spot foul. Automatic first down.
And the penalty is not allowing the receiver a chance to go in and make that catch. And look, the coverage is good. He's in phase with the receiver, but he wasn't looking for the ball. He was obviously blocking Valdes-Scantling's opportunity to catch it. That's where that flag came from.
So it sets up 1st and goal from the Jets 3. 3 receivers set up to the left side. Williams in the backfield. Rodgers on 1st and goal, looking for Jimmy Graham in the end zone. Jamal Adams defending. There is a flag. It's against the Jets.
Pass interference. Defense, number 33. The foul occurred in the end zone. The ball will be placed at the 1-yard line. First down.
Well, Jimmy Graham is the definition of 50-50 ball. Didn't really come into vogue until he came into the league. And Jamal was frustrated, but that's a tall ladder to climb, trying to defend a jump ball to Jimmy Graham with his wingspan and his height. You're going to put yourself in man-to-man coverage, and you have Jimmy Graham one-on-one with anybody that's got a height disadvantage, which means everybody. Why not throw it to him and let him go up and try to make a play on it?
12 Jets penalties today. 1st and goal from the 1. Rodgers rolling right. Pump fake. And he takes it in for a Packers touchdown.
So easy for Aaron Rodgers to get to the edge here, and yes, he's looking for a way to throw this football, but when nobody commits themselves in coverage, he just makes a really quick decision to run this thing. In fact, with his receivers end up being blockers, shields for him. There's nobody even close to him as he goes into the end zone here.
His first rushing touchdown since December 24th, 2016. 2 years ago tomorrow. The extra point is good. The Packers have pulled to within 5. You ready, Rondé? All your presents in order?
Most of them. How about those lights? Put those on a tree. Jets are ready for an onside kick here, but I don't think the Packers are going to kick it deep, and they do.
Robbie Anderson Back at the 9-yard line. We talk about some of the new kickoff rules this season. There have been only 4 successful onside kicks in the entire league, an 8% success rate.
It's almost impossible now because you can't overload one side of the field to give you a better chance. Last season, got a little bit better. I mean, the percentage speaks for itself. 21 versus the 8 that you just mentioned. Yeah, because of the safety rules and not being able to put 7, 8 guys to one side of the ball, it's almost impossible to win in a mashup when that ball gets on the ground.
Sam Darnold and the Jets back to work with a 5-point lead and under 6.5 minutes remaining.
Get to see a little bit about what Sam Darnold and this offense is made of here. They've been really good all day long. Moved the ball early in the game in the first quarter. They moved it well in the third quarter. Now they got to finish. This is a team that hasn't been able to finish these close games all season long. They get an opportunity to do it right here. And if you're the Packers, you've been out of this ball game now twice, down double-digit scores. Your defense needs to come up with a stop here. Get the ball back.
That's exactly what Todd Bowles told us. He said, we've been right there in so many games, but we have to find a way to finish. 2nd and 10. Darnold throws, and the catch is made at the 32-yard line by Jordan Leggett for a gain of 9 as we check in with Carissa.
Thanks, Kenny. Colts trailing 27-21 to the Giants when Andrew Luck connected to Chester Rogers for this 1-yard score. Colts up by 1, also looking for that 7th seed with a win. Kenny, Rhonda, and Christina.
All right, thanks, Carissa. Yes, the Giants and Jets do play at the same time once in a while.
Yes.
Used to be very rare. 3rd down and 1. As the Jets look to extend this drive, it is Darnold, and it will depend on the spot.
Couldn't find a soft spot that time. This all depends on the spot. From that perspective, it's the nose of the ball is right on the line, so we'll take a look. And it's hard to get anything after the replay for the spot because there's just so many bodies in there. You just can't see. So usually they stick with the spot that they come in on the field with, and yeah, there's no soft spot. Maybe over there the diving guard. Maybe just enough. I'm going to say he got it. He did not.
Darnold short.
Watch him roll over at the end, though, Kenny. And not going to challenge it.
So for the 3rd straight possession during the 4th quarter, the Jets will punt it away. Packers with 10 points on their last 2 possessions to cut a 15-point Jets lead down to 5. It was 35-20 Jets early in this 4th quarter. It's a fake, and the Jets pick up a 1st down.
You don't challenge it because you're going for it. Direct snap right to Miles, your personal protector. Just going to barrel through. They have their safe protection on. You kind of prepare yourself for this all week. You run through these scenarios when it's a close 4th down like this. Not enough bodies at the line to stop that surge. They keep possession. Good call by Todd Bowles.
So Rontez Miles picks up the 1st down. Under 4 minutes remaining. New set of downs for the Jets. On the toss, it's Elijah McGuire. Stumbled, stays on his feet, and then receives a hand to the face mask.
That's a tough one here, too. Just ripped his helmet off. Couldn't see who that defender was.
Personal foul.
Josh Jones.
Defense, number 27. 15-yard penalty is added to the end of the play. Automatic first down.
9th Green Bay penalty. So on back-to-back plays, fake punt, and then a face mask penalty. Down to 3:40 remaining with the Jets leading by 5. The last time the Packers went an entire season without a victory on the road, they went 0-6 back in 1958 under head coach Ray Scooter McLean. Vince Lombardi took over as head coach in Green Bay the next season.
How about that nugget?
They've never gone 0-8 on the road since the NFL went to a 16-game schedule.
Well, the Jets are putting it in their big bodies. Number 70, Dakota Dozier, comes into the football game, and it really just signals it's going to be a bunch of runs here. You just want to eat up as much time as you can, make the Packers use their timeouts here, forthcoming plays.
Into Packers territory, and then a flag following the toss to Roberts.
That's the danger when you put yourself in a situation.
Holding. Offense. Number 67. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
We welcome a new audience, those of you who have been watching the Cowboys and the Buccaneers. Dallas with a 27-20 victory. So the Cowboys clinch the NFC East. Kenny Albert, Rondé Barber, Christina Pink from MetLife Stadium. New York Jets with a 5-point lead on the Green Bay Packers. 3.5 remaining. Rookie quarterback Sam Darnold has thrown 3 touchdown passes today. 318 yards in the air. First down at 20 following yet another Jets penalty as McGuire is cut down back at the 37-yard line by Tony Brown.
On back-to-back plays, negative yardage, and Tony Brown does an awesome job here. He's going to just knife in. He was actually on the ground when he tried to come into the end of the line of scrimmage here, and then gets up and makes the tackle on McGuire. And you know, you put yourself in that situation on first down after the fake punt. You want to run the football, you run a reverse, but you get a holding penalty because you put your offensive lineman in so much space, so you get the 10 yards, then you get a negative yards play on second down. Now all of a sudden your plans are out the window. Now you got to give Sam Darnold an opportunity to throw the ball here because you're still trying to accomplish his first down, or you're going to give the ball back to Aaron Rodgers with a chance to win it at the end.
Packers with 1 timeout, 3:28 remaining. Rodgers has thrown for 367 yards today. Second down and 23. Jets from their 37-yard line. This is Elijah McGuire. McGuire with a pair of touchdowns today. Packers use their final timeout. We welcome another new audience. Those of you who have been watching the Atlanta Falcons and the Carolina Panthers. Big day for Sam Darnold of the New York Jets. Finds Robbie Anderson back in the second quarter. 33-yard touchdown. Then his rookie tight end Chris Herndon. Elijah McGuire. 3 touchdown passes for Darnold. Jets led early 14-0. They led 35-20 here in the fourth quarter. Packers have scored the last 10 points. So Green Bay trailing by 5 out of timeouts. Jets facing a third down and 20 as the Packers look to get the ball back. Darnold does a 360 and then throws it into the ground. That will stop the clock. It was in the vicinity of Herndon. So with 3:20 remaining, the Jets with a 5-point lead will send out the punting unit.
There were some curious play calls there for me and Kenny. I don't think I liked any of them. I didn't like the reverse. I didn't like the run on second down when you need to get some yardage back, and then you set up a screen, and young Sam Darnold throws the ball on the ground. So you're essentially giving the Packers a free stoppage there. I mean, time on task and situational football, he'll just eat that ball, let the clock run out, get some more time off the clock. But you're going to give Aaron Rodgers a bunch of time here to try to win this football game.
Punting from his 30, Lachlan Edwards. Tramon Williams is back deep. It'll be down inside the 20 as we head to Los Angeles with 3:12 remaining in the fourth quarter. Carissa.
Thanks, Kenny. Texans trailing 29-23 against the Eagles when Deshaun Watson goes up top. Vincent Smith, the recipient of that one. Texans up 30-29. Eagles would be eliminated with a loss and a Vikings win. Kenny Ronde and Christina.
All right, thanks, Carissa. Aaron Rodgers and the Packers offense back on the field. 3:12 on the clock. No timeouts. Rodgers today 31 of 43, 367 yards, and 1 TD.
Here we go. These are situations Aaron Rodgers made for. He's thrived in these his entire career. And this game doesn't mean a lot to anybody except for these players on both sidelines. Let's see what Aaron Rodgers can pull off here.
Still without Equanimeous St. Brown, one of his wideouts, injured earlier in this half. Catch is made by Jamal Williams. Williams out of bounds at the 21. 18 career game-winning drives in the fourth quarter and overtime for Aaron Rodgers.
It seems like it's been way more than 18, but just the way he's able to keep his calm and his poise in situations like this, you almost feel like whenever I'm watching a Packers game, he gets in these, that he's gonna find a way to do it. A big play will emerge somewhere. Aaron Rodgers is the best at it.
Second down and 6, over the middle, complete. Jimmy Graham. First down, out to the 37-yard line.
There you go. Jimmy Graham hasn't been much of a factor.
Only his third reception today.
And the Jets are going to continue to be aggressive. That's just what this defense does. In situations like this, I know what Todd Bowles is thinking. Try to get the ball out of the quarterback's hand, see if you can make him make a mistake, but Aaron Rodgers just doesn't do that.
Pump fake. Rodgers moving to his left. And now he fires downfield, and that one's incomplete. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, the intended receiver. Roberts defending.
Now, plenty of time, and we talked about this earlier, his receivers needing to learn how to come back to the balls to help him out. Pressure's not there. He finds time, steps up, just flick of the wrist trying to get this ball down the field to Valdez-Scantling, and is just out of the reach of the young wide receiver there.
Rodgers with a season-high 33 completions, including 14 in a row earlier. Second and 10, 2.5 remaining. Aaron Rodgers looking for his 100th career win in the regular season. This pass is caught for a first down out at midfield by Jake Kumerow. Gain of 13, scored his first NFL touchdown back in the first half.
I think Tremaine Johnson, your corner here, is expecting Jamal Adams to come underneath and help him, giving him all that room so you don't get a ball over the top. And then the safety's just a little bit late, well, a lot bit late, as Kumerow was wide open there for an easy completion, and more importantly, the ability to just step right out of bounds and stop the clock.
Rodgers now 400 yards in the air for the 7th time in his career, 3rd time this season. Dumps this one off. Jamal Williams inside the 30, still going. Finally tackled at the 25-yard line.
You're almost like, how do they know that a pressure is coming? Because you're going to see the pressure come from this side, and then the running back slipping out on the screen, so there's nobody over here. Look how much room that he has, and then he has 3 big old linemen out in front of him to pick up some extra yards, and it gets us right to the 2-minute warning here, Kenny.
With the Green Bay Packers on the move, trailing Sam Darnold and the Jets by 5. Back, Jets lead the Packers 35-30. Andre Roberts with a 99-yard kickoff return touchdown for the Jets. They also forced a fumble on special teams, and Aaron Rodgers with his 7th career game with at least 400 passing yards as we welcome another new audience. Kenny Albert, Rondé Barber, Christina Pink from MetLife Stadium. 2 minutes remaining. 1st and 10 for the Packers from the Jets. 24-yard line. 3 receivers set up to the left side. Rodgers throws, and a big hit is laid on the intended receiver, Davante Adams, by Buster Skrine. He's shaken up as well. Adams already with 10 receptions today, but not this time.
This is great work here by Buster Skrine. He's a flat defender here. Watch him see out the play and flip that top hip and get back into this ball. That was going to be a completion to Davante Adams, a big completion, but a great pass breakup by the nickelback for the Jets there. He wants to get back into the football game. Wow.
Now 2nd and 10. Rodgers 35 of 49, 426 yards. Pump fake, moves to his left. Rodgers inside the 20, the 15, still going, inside the 5, and finally tackled on a big hit by Jamal Adams.
We saw it earlier, and Aaron Rodgers ran for a score. You expect him to get this ball out, Victor Scantling right there, or Valdez Scantling right there, but then he just starts directing traffic and says, I'll do this myself. Clock's still running here.
And now the Jets finally take a timeout as they want as much time as possible should the Packers score.
That's a good point too, Kenny. If they score at this point down here inside or at the 1-yard line, you want them to score quick just to give your offense a chance to go down and score with Sam Darnold. But that being said, they still need a touchdown to score, or to get ahead. So the defense is going to want to try to stop him here in the same vein. But I'm with you. I don't know what I'm doing. If this was a bigger game, you might say, hey, yeah, let them score. But you got a rookie quarterback who really hasn't done anything in the 4th quarter with all those 3-and-out drives that this Jets has had.
That was a 23-yard run by Rodgers as the Jets shuffle in personnel on defense. 1st and goal from the 1-yard line for the Packers, who have not won on the road this season.
Oh, if it's me, Kenny, just an analyst, ex-player, I'd let him score here. It would give your quarterback, your young quarterback, a chance to go try to win a football game. Well, I don't know if Todd Bowles agrees with me, but that's what I'm doing. Because what are the chances that you stop this Packers offense right now with the number of yardages that Aaron Rodgers and this offense have put up here in the 2nd half?
Rodgers rolling right, looking to the end zone. He throws incomplete. Clock stops with 1:27 remaining. Pass intended for the fullback, Danny Vitale.
Vitale come out of the backfield here. Good coverage by Jamal Adams. There's nowhere for him to throw this football. He's trying to squeeze it in there, but it's really just saving a play. Just throw it onto the ground. He's throwing that thing away.
Buster Skrine back on the field for the Jets, shaken up moments ago. It is now 2nd and goal from the Jets 1. Davante Adams, top of your screen, split out wide to the left. Jimmy Graham, slot to the right. Rodgers to the end zone, incomplete. So it will be 3rd down. Screen on the coverage, pass intended for Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
You put him in the slot so you have all this room to run away from man-to-man coverage. The pass, again, is just a little bit out of the reach of Valdez-Scantling. So good coverage by Buster Skrine.
2 more opportunities, 2 passing plays after you talked about perhaps allowing the Packers to score to give the Jets some more time. They've stopped them on the first 2 plays. Now 3rd and goal. Rodgers hands it off. Jamal Williams, and he is stopped. Frankie Luvu, the first Jet to make contact.
It's a good stand here by this Jets defense. We've seen Jamal Williams all day run with some conviction, run hard, fall forward. That Jets defensive front and the linebackers kept him out here. One more play.
Jets use another timeout just in case. They want as much time as possible if the Packers score on this next play. They'll stop the Packers on 1st and 2nd down on passing plays, and then a running play on 3rd down.
Well, if they're able to stop him, this is a heck of a stand. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers made that scramble down to the 1-yard line with plenty of time left on the clock. And now you're at 4th down. Biggest play of the game coming up right here.
The fans on their feet. 4th and goal from the Jets 1. Williams in the backfield. Adams slot to the right. Rodgers on the sneak. Now, one official has signaled touchdown. Now the other has as well. Rodgers broke the play, and according to the officials, all scoring plays are reviewed. The Packers have taken the lead.
I think they're correct. As soon as he got under center here, I was thinking quarterback sneak all the way. All he's got to do is get that ball in his possession over the line, and pretty sure that breaks it. That's not a straight line. Not a great straight line. It definitely looked like it did. I don't see how they could change this after they ruled it a touchdown on the field.
Oh, I agree. It certainly appears as if Rodgers broke the plane before the ball was knocked away by Hewitt.
This is about as good as you're going to get on this down the line view. We're right on the goal line there with our camera, and that's got to be it.
So for Aaron Rodgers, his 2nd rushing touchdown of this 4th quarter that matches his career high in one game. Did it back in 2011 against Denver. Packers leading by 1, go for 2. Now there's a flag. It's intercepted, and this one is brought back by Darryl Roberts. This would mean 2 points for the Jets. But again, there was a flag at the opposite end of the field.
Wow. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a hold or pass interference, but man, that would have been a heck of a finish. Here's the coverage. Darryl Roberts on big Jimmy Graham. Yeah, he grabbed him. There's no question about it. It wasn't a lot, but just the optics of it. You got both arms wrapped around the receiver.
Before the pass was thrown, holding by the defense, number 27. Half the distance to the goal. Repeat the try.
So imagine that. If not for the penalty, the Jets could have taken a 1-point lead on that return.
Oh, wow.
So the Packers will set up once again, this time from the 1-yard line, as the ball is moved half the distance.
Let's see if he gets under center again and maybe thinks about running a quarterback sneak. I don't know if that'll scare you out, that return. We saw one last week, right? There was a return for 2 points. They're going to come out with 4 wide, and don't be surprised if he turns around and hand this ball off.
Two-point conversion attempt. Rodgers takes it in. So he has 2 rushing touchdowns and a 2-point conversion. Here in the 4th quarter, the Packers have scored the last 18 points. They lead the Jets by 3.
I'm pretty sure Green Bay doesn't have read option in their playbook very often with Aaron Rodgers, but that's all this is. He gets to read the in guy on the line of scrimmage, Copeland there, and when he's crashed down just enough on Jamal Williams, Aaron Rodgers pulled it, did it himself, and this guy's amazing. It's amazing. That drive was impressive. All these drives have been impressive for Aaron Rodgers, and you guys weren't with us early in the game, but it was a very slow start for the Packers, and the Jets jumped on them quick in the 1st quarter and then in the 3rd quarter to get out to that 2-score lead.
McGuire extended the Jets lead to 35-20 following a Mason Crosby field goal. Aaron Rodgers with a rushing touchdown and then a 23-yard run, followed by his 2nd rushing TD of the quarter, and he followed that up with a 2-point conversion. He's doing it all. He's thrown for 426 yards and a touchdown. He's run in for 2 more. And now Andre Roberts with a big return for the Jets. He already brought one back 99 yards for a touchdown earlier. And he takes this one into Packers territory to the Green Bay 38.
Are you kidding me, partner? How about this game? How about this game? How many big plays have we had in this football game? Andre Roberts already has a kick return for a touchdown, and when you need to get some positive yardage, he gets it again. I said it earlier in this broadcast. He's justifying his Pro Bowl bid. He's showing it again here. Giving Sam Darnold a very short field here. Now you're thinking, overtime? 3-point field goal here puts this thing in overtime. What a fantastic game we have here at the end of the season.
A 51-yard return by the Pro Bowler, Andre Roberts. So now the Jets go to work from the Packers 38 with 1:05 remaining and 1 timeout. Darnold throws, pass is caught, taken to the 26-yard line for a first down by Herndon.
Chris Herndon's big day continues. Quarterback looking for a young rookie receiver in this situation is awesome. It's lined up right here in the slot.
Darnold sets and throws. It's Herndon again for the Packers 14-yard line. 35 seconds remaining. And the Jets will use their final timeout. Trailing by 3 to Los Angeles we go. Carissa.
You guys got a good game there. This is a good game. Eagles down by 1, wild back and forth. Jake Elliott hits the game-winning 35-yard field goal. Defending champs keep their playoff hopes alive. Houston now falls to the 3 seed in the AFC, and the Pats move to the 2 seed. Kenny?
All right, thanks, Carissa. The Green Bay Packers with 18 consecutive points. Here in the fourth quarter, they trailed 35-20. Now lead the Jets by 3.
Well, this is a huge growing moment, right? An opportunity to learn for Sam Darnold. End of the season, needing a 2-minute drive to win the football game, set up by that Andre Roberts kick return. But he's made 2 really good immediate throws to his young tight end here on this drive. Put them in a position not only to tie it with the field goal, but to win it.
A season high 341 yards for Darnold. Darnold throws this one through the back of the end zone. 32 seconds remaining.
Well, they were on him quick right here. He had to make a quick decision here. You know, Mike Pett and his defense, they think they're going to blitz, but it's just a 3-man pressure. I think they got confused up front with the Jets, and Sam Darnold makes a good decision throwing that out of the back of the end zone.
2nd and 10 upcoming for the New York Jets, who led by as many as 15. They now trail by 3.
Robbie Anderson's been his go-to receiver all day today. He's lined up top in the slot. Watch see if he comes across his formation.
Darnold on 2nd down, directing traffic, throws back in the end zone, and that one is out the backside of the end zone. Burnett, the intended receiver.
Here's Robbie Anderson. I think this is who he originally wanted to throw this football to. He looks off the coverage, but the coverage is awesome. Watch this throw. I know this is out of bounds, but look at that catch. He came down with that out of bounds, but that's pretty special.
So now the Jets facing a 3rd down and 10. Another look. Remember, Herndon made a one-handed catch earlier in the field of play.
And they can make a completion in the field of play. There's enough time to do hurry-up field goal here.
All right, 3rd and 10. Darnold throws this one away. So now the field goal unit will come on. Jason Myers, the Pro Bowler, with 21 seconds remaining in regulation. He has missed his only attempt today. Back in the first quarter from 45 yards out. This will be a 33-yard attempt. Same distance as an extra point. Missed 2 extra points in last week's game against Houston from this distance. Myers' kick is good. The Jets tie it at 38 with 17 seconds remaining.
Anybody want some more football? We got it. Snap hold is perfect here, and Myers proving also why he's a Pro Bowl kicker. Clutch kick there to tie this football game.
A wild one here in East Rutherford. Jets had a 14-0 lead in the second quarter. 35-20 lead early in the fourth quarter. Still 17 seconds remaining in the fourth. Look at overtime rules. Coin toss to determine possession. Both teams will have the opportunity to possess unless the initial possession results in a TD or defensive score. Jets will kick it off with 17 seconds on the clock. And Bashaud Breeland back deep for the Packers. What a day for Aaron Rodgers. 426 yards. One touchdown pass. He's run in for two others and a two-point conversion. Sam Darnold, season high 341 yards in the air and 3 touchdowns. Breeland takes a knee. So Rodgers and the Packers offense with 17 seconds and no timeouts. .35 completions, his career high, and the Packers franchise record in one game is 39. Rodgers takes a knee. Clock will wind all the way down. And we are headed for overtime. Rodgers all smiles as he has led a comeback from 15 points down. Packers scored 18 consecutive points in the fourth quarter. Before that, Jets field goal to tie it. Sam Darnold and the Jets had a 35-20 lead. We talked about our conversation with Todd Bowles, and he said we must find a way to finish. They could not do that in regulation. How about these numbers?
Yeah, it's been a great game. These quarterbacks have showcased themselves as we'd expected. We talked about early in this football game, this young quarterback getting a chance to showcase himself in front of one of the greats in Aaron Rodgers, and he's got to be proud of the game that he put together. Almost got them in position to win this football game at the end. Made some nice throws. He's made some nice throws all day long, but Aaron Rodgers is just special. Just his ability to lead his football team, working with a bunch of young receivers, some adversity in the team, and people came into this football game. Can you remember the whole talk was whether or not he was going to even play today? But I think we're all glad we get a chance to see him.
He said it was never in doubt.
Captains, we will play one 10-minute overtime period. Each team will have the opportunity to possess the ball unless the defense scores or there's a touchdown by the offense on the first possession. All replays are handled from the booth upstairs. Each team has 2 timeouts. Fourth quarter timing rules apply. Green Bay, call the toss, please. This is heads. That's tails. Heads it is. Heads is the call. It is heads. Green Bay's won the toss. Will receive the ball. Which way you kick in New York?
Packers will get the ball first in overtime. Aaron Rodgers in the fourth quarter. A pair of rushing touchdowns and a 2-point conversion to lead the Green Bay Packers all the way back from a 15-point deficit. Banged up throughout the seasons, in particular the last couple of weeks, but he told us that it was never in doubt as to whether or not he would play in the game today. One of his friends called him early in the week, said, "I heard you're not playing." He said, "Are you crazy?"
Hey, look, Kenny, we're all in the entertainment business, and Aaron Rodgers has put on a show today. This has been fun. And we got 10 more minutes of it.
Or less.
Or less.
Breeland is back deep. Packers will start from their 25-yard line in overtime. Rodgers already has thrown for 426 yards, 3 total touchdowns. Packers look to win on the road for the first time this season. They will host the Lions in their regular season finale next week. Last time a Green Bay Packers club went winless on the road, 1958. An opportunity to win the game in overtime. From the 25. Play action on first down. Rodgers using those legs once again. And he's brought down at the 33 after a gain of 8 by Brandon Copeland.
It just looks like he's enjoying this. He doesn't look like a guy that's gimpy or hurt in any sort of way. Gets on the edge, and we've seen this a couple of times. He's going to do it himself in this fourth quarter with his legs. Obviously, we know we can put the ball on anybody at any time, but I've been really impressed with the way he's fought through this injuries in this football game. And he's smiling, enjoying it, man. This is good.
Packers over 500 yards of offense. Second down and 2. Tied at 38 in overtime. Up the middle, Jamal Williams, first down out to the 40.
Jamal Williams had a great day today too, Kenny. Been talking a lot about Aaron Rodgers, but look what he's done. 142 total yards on the day, and no Aaron Jones. You've had some issues at the run game in meaning that they don't commit themselves to the run game, but they came out with a purpose with this guy today, and he's been impressive.
Packers win the game with a touchdown. Anything else, and the Jets would have an opportunity. Pass broken up. Intended for Jamal Williams. Henry Anderson got a hand in.
Well, Henry Anderson just made that play on that last run. This is very well sniffed out, if you will, by him here, because this is a play they ran earlier on that last scoring drive, sneaking out Jamal Williams for a big gain, but he was on at that time.
Second overtime game for the Packers this season. They tied the Vikings back in week 2, 29-29. First possession of overtime. Second and 10 from the 40. Rodgers' pass is caught, but right there to make the tackle of Marquez Valdez-Scantling is Morris Claiborne.
Great play.
Third and 10 upcoming.
That's a great play by Mo Claiborne there. He runs through a block to make this tackle. Sets up a third and long here, and we know this defense. Third down, you're going to bring pressure on Aaron Rodgers, you're going to drop back in coverage. I don't know if I'd want to give him enough time to scramble out and do something. They've been aggressive all day. Let's see if they stick with that theme here.
Packers must get to midfield for a first down. Rodgers on third and 10. Fires it downfield. There is a flag. 2 flags come in.
Aaron Rodgers got hit. Rodgers got crushed on this play. He just threw up a
Pass interference. Defense, number 22. Spot foul. Automatic first down.
That's on Tremaine Johnson.
Well, they're going to bring pressure over here. Bunch of guys, and watch this hit he takes right as he throws this football from Hewitt. And then here's the pass interference at the end. Tremaine Johnson is in good coverage right here at the end, right there. You see him extend his hands into the chest of Scantling, and that's the penalty. Wrong time for that. The pass interference down the field is the most penal penalty in football. That spot there inside the 30-yard line now.
And see those numbers, 15 penalties, 165 yards. Most in the NFL this season, both categories.
Wow.
Packers pick up 33 yards on that pass interference call. This is Williams inside the 20. Jamal Williams to the Jets' 18-yard line.
Well, this commitment to the run, this steady dose of turnaround, handing the football off is just nice. Blocking up front has been fantastic today.
Now Rodgers fires to the end zone. It is dropped by Davante Adams. Another flag.
I think the initial signal there was false start. And a lot of times when you're trying to go fast, trying to get to the line of scrimmage and take advantage of a defense, you guys don't get set, and I think that's what happened here.
Illegal shift by the offense. All 12 players were not set before the snap. 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Packers quickly back up to the line.
And you see Kumaro, yeah, 16 at the bottom of your screen.
The illegal shift.
Screen there, not set for a second before the ball snaps. Sorry, step on you there, partner.
That's the 25th accepted penalty in today's game. Ball spotted back at the 23-yard line. Second down and 6.
Review.
Ron Torbert just said they were going to review this. Perhaps the spot on the last run.
Ball was spotted at the 18-yard line prior to the illegal shift. Let's bring in Dean Blandino from Los Angeles. Dean, what's Ron Torbert looking at?
Yeah, I think what they may be looking at is 12 on the defense. The offense wasn't set, so that's an illegal shift, which is a live ball foul. It doesn't kill the play. And so they're trying to determine, did the defense also foul by having 12 on the field at the snap?
There you go. How were you able to see that from Los Angeles? So we didn't see that here in New York.
Or New Jersey.
New Jersey, yes. And here you go. I think this is the last guy that they're thinking. This ball snapped while he's still on the field. That is 12.
Checking out if he was off the field of play prior to the snap. All right, let's go back to Dean.
Yeah, so if they do determine that there's 12, which it looks like there is, instead of just an illegal shift, these fouls will now offset and will replay the down.
The 12th defensive player was running off the field, did not get completely off the field before the snap. Therefore, there's a 12 men on defense, which will offset the illegal shift. We will repeat second down at the previous spot.
All right, so the Jet defender was not yet off the field, offsetting penalties. Ball would be spotted back at the 18-yard line.
That's a tough penalty. I mean, I know what it is, but he's obviously not in the field of play trying to affect the actual offense. He's going off the field. I mean, it's one of those ones that I don't like when a guy's trying to scurry off the field. But Aaron Rodgers sees this all the time. You know, when you sub and you got a defense trying to sub, you know, concurrently, he'll take that chance.
Second down and 1. This is Williams, and he picks up the first to the Jets' 13-yard line.
Just more Jamal Williams, outside zone run here, just looking for a gap off the back of one of his offensive linemen, and he only needed a yard, and they don't need to be in a hurry. Aaron Rodgers going fast just on that last play just to try to get the defense unaware, but now you can take your time, get to the right play, try to score a touchdown here and win this football game.
First and 10 from the Jets' 13-yard line. Opening possession in overtime, tied at 38. Play action. Rodgers moving to his right. Now he throws. It'll be second down.
Well, he had Kumaro. Kumaro ran an awesome route here. Watch this. Working on Buster's screen here. It's out, in, wide open. This ball doesn't come out to him. And Aaron Rodgers creates second reaction here trying to find him. Just throws it out of bounds. Calm, cool, collected, unfazed. He's the most jaded quarterback I've ever seen. It's awesome watching him work.
He's been smiling all afternoon long. 2nd and 10. That pass incomplete, but a flag.
Pass interference. Defense, number 41. Spot foul. Automatic first down.
16th penalty committed by the Jets.
In the slot. Here's the matchup. Valdez-Scantling. Tough one. Again. Not a lot there, but hands on. They're going to call it.
172 penalty yards. Most in Jets franchise history. 1st and goal from the 6. Packers win the game with a touchdown. Rodgers moving to his right. He will take it in, but there is a flag. Another penalty marker on the field.
Holding. Offense number 75. 10-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
This one's on Bulaga, Packers right tackle.
Aaron Rodgers is sprinting out here, but I think in his mind he was running this all the way. It took him about half a second to decide to run with this football. You're going to see it here, the bottom part of your screen, or right side of your screen, right there. Right there. That's the hold on Bulaga. And Aaron Rodgers, has he ever had 3 rushing touchdowns in a day?
He has not. He has 2 today, plus a 2-point conversion. Ball now spotted at the 16-yard line. 1st and goal. Tied at 38 in overtime. Rodgers sets. Now he throws. End zone. Touchdown. Game over. Davante Adams. Packers win it.
What a great combination these two are. There hasn't been a better one this year. Aaron Rodgers, Davante Adams. Just a simple little post route. He gets inside position on Maurice Claiborne. That's a nice, simple throw and a touchdown for the Green Bay Packers. What a game this was. What a performance by Aaron Rodgers in this offense in the 2nd half. They took this game by the scruff when they were down, scored 18 straight points. They came back to tie, and who else would you want the ball in their hands? You got to win a game at the end than this guy. Fantastic.
442 passing yards, tying his season high, a game-winning touchdown. Packers' first win on the road, 100th win of Aaron Rodgers' NFL career. State Farm postgame is next.